it's illegal, I believe. But I bet the rest area is okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember where it was. Afton.
I always heard it was illegal.
There was a place that I lived in one of my apartments, and when I was warming up a car and during the winter, somebody yelled at me. Now I don't even know if they were yelling because they were accurate that it was not okay to warm up there, or if it was them just telling me to turn my nasty car off. But yeah, I think it is municipality.
Yeah, it's municipality by municipality.
And I definitely have lived in one or two where it was not okay. But St. Charles.
But are you sure, though? You didn't look at the law, or did you hear that from somebody?
I heard it from the neighbor that yelled at me.
Okay.
I never looked.
Yeah, I would imagine. I bet Overland it's probably not legal.
We're live, guys, on YouTube.
Oh, we're back on YouTube. Hey, YouTube.
Hi,
oh, thank
YouTube.
God.
Oh, hey.
Thank God.
Look how good we all look.
Now everybody can see Lern's brown shirt.
Yay! You just missed. She showed her pits.
I did. I had my pits out.
Pits.
Pits.
That's what I said.
P-I-T-S. Yes,
What are you doing to me?
I'm just clarifying.
I know. Some people can hear T. I don't know.
Yeah, people hear what they want to hear, Moon. You know that. So yes, as far as warming your car up, I did a deep dive. And by deep dive, meaning I went to KSDK's website because they did a deep dive.
Wow. Investigative reporting.
You're incredible.
This show's got it all.
You're welcome. You're welcome, guys.
Wow.
Now, KSDK did a verify. They dug into Missouri law to verify the question, are there restrictions on... Their question was, how long can you warm up your car in St. Louis? How long can you warm it up? There's a time limit. They didn't answer the question, though, and I guess I got to look even further into this. Are you allowed to just start your car up and walk away? I think that is illegal.
And stupid to do. Like,
Wait,
what are you doing?
What do you mean?
Unless it's like the remote start.
Ooh, yes.
No, can you? Moon lives in South City. It's very cold out. Before Moon goes to work, he goes out to his car, starts it up, and goes back inside. I'm not going to get into the car until it's warm. Is that illegal?
In the city? Tell me. Okay, I don't know.
Well, I have the answer of how long can you warm up your car?
There is a time limit?
There's a time limit.
Oh, no.
Is somebody out there timing it?
There's a time limit.
All right.
This is from KSDK. While St. Louis City and St. Louis County's idling law is very restrictive, nearby county ordinance are much more relaxed. The daily work commute will be getting more difficult and become more of a headache for drivers in the St. Louis area as temperatures continue to drop. A long-held coping mechanism for early morning drivers has been trotting out to their cars, starting them early so their cars are warm for their drive to work. However, in St. Louis City and St. Louis County, this small act of comfort could technically be illegal and get you a fine. So, yes, there are restrictions on motor vehicle idling in both St. Louis City and St. Louis County. However, other counties around the area have much more relaxed laws when it comes to idling. So this is what KSDK found. St. Louis Board of Aldermen approved a city ordinance back in 2008 that regulated the idling of every motor vehicle within city limits. The ordinance specifies that no person can idle the engine of a motor vehicle for longer than 5 minutes in any given hour while parked, standing, or stopped.
That's also for cab. I mean, this is not a rule that they were only thinking about remote start during the snow.
Vehicles are allowed to idle for 10 minutes if temperatures are below freezing. So they did put that into...
Does this count if you're at a red light downtown?
Because that sometimes lasts 5 minutes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though, with like the idling laws. A lot of times that has to do with taxis and Ubers and buses and things. People waiting at hotels or Busch Stadium or
waiting for their kids to finish hockey.
You know, when I had my Malibu, I loved getting my remote start. That was like a Christmas gift from Tim one year. And that was awesome. So shout out to anybody that has that. Because then it's locked. It's not going to get stolen, hopefully.
Oh, every year there are so many stories of... I started my car up. keys are in the ignition.
Meow.
Gone.
Yeah, last year I got about 30 free cars. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was nice, right? And they just leave the keys in the car
it was
for me. Look at
really
that.
nice of them. It was warm.
It's
and
a
you
sign
just
of a
hop in.
gift. My the biggest issue for us, or my biggest issue with the remote starts, is the horn. If it's got the little horn on it, well, it's useless for us in the morning because I'm not going to be that neighbor. I'm absolutely not. I'm not going to hate the guy that I hear at 11 o'clock, get home at 11 p.m. and boop, boop, lock his doors. Just lock them manually. If you know it honks and it's 11 p.m., be a neighbor.
Yeah.
You turd. That's not okay. So I don't want to be the remote start guy that it makes it honk twice at 3-something in the morning. That's not okay.
I don't know. I get in the car and it eventually warms up.
God bless the seat heaters too. I
don't have those.
You don't?
No.
Oh, man.
I got them on all the time.
Must be nice, huh?
Whoa.
I'm fancy.
What is your
you get 'em-
driver's seat gold?
Once you get them, you feel like you can't live without them.
I'll never.
I know. I had them on my last car.
Yeah,
I had the heated steering wheel and the seats.
And you guys are dudes, but for women that menstruate, like being on your period and having them, I know that you don't want to hear about it, but like honestly,
no,
it's
I
a
want to
game
hear about it.
changer
I didn't
for
think it
women.
was I didn't even think that was an issue.
It is an issue. It's a huge issue. And ladies, you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't know that played into.
Since we don't do the remote, since I don't do the remote start because of this job, because we're up so early, I get in and, I mean, it's unhealthy. The transmission is still freezing, and I'm boop in drive. Let's move. Let's move. Let's get this warmed up.
Once it starts going, it's fine.
And do you find yourself driving? And I'm bundled, and I got little car gloves too, just in case, you know. And
shout out to the car gloves.
But I find myself like this, you know,
hunched over like a T-Rex?
like leaning forward, well into like.
My car's in the garage, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's outside, so it's beautiful.
I'll be 8 or 9 miles into that trip, and then realize, I'm like clinching, and I'm forward, and then I go, yeah,
and then
it
you
is
realize once the heat starts kicking on.
Yep. I live close enough to work where by the time I'm about 2 minutes out, it finally warms up. It's such a cool deal.
Now,
so nice.
If you are caught idling your car, warming up your car for more than 10 minutes if it's below freezing, you could get a ticket of $100.
Who's ever gotten this ticket?
And that's my point.
If you've gotten this ticket, please let us know.
What have you done to the police?
Like they're looking for drugs in your car. Like they're like, okay, you've been idling for 6 minutes, and I want to check your glove compartment.
I wonder how many of those tickets have actually been given out.
Right.
That's a mean one.
What a D.
That's a mean ticket to get.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like they must know you hate police, like you trash talk them all the time.
Right.
Like if you're getting that ticket.
You have an F the police bumper sticker on.
Oh, F the police, huh? As they sit there with a stopwatch.
Right.
All right.
501.
501. Time for a ticket.
Get those cherries going.
It's awesome.
Yeah, if there's a cop out there that's ever written one of those tickets, let me know.
Please.
Yes, reach out.
Yeah.
I would love to know. St. Louis County also has an ordinance in place that outlaws motor vehicles other than emergency vehicles from idling longer than 3 minutes while parked, standing, or stopped. Numerous other counties in Missouri also restrict idling, but only for heavy-duty diesel vehicles or diesel-powered vehicles weighing more than 10,000 pounds, according to Missouri's Code of Regulations. So, yes, it is technically illegal to warm up your car in St. Louis. So there you go. Be careful out there, guys.
All righty.
Be careful out there, guys. When was the last time you DoorDashed?
Oh.
2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago?
I don't think I ever have.
You've never DoorDashed?
No, I don't. Never had that app or an account.
Or Uber Eats or
maybe
what's the
Uber
other one?
Eats. Maybe 2020, like Uber Eats.
Huh. Yeah, we did sushi a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I've never. My wife has done it a few times, but I like money, so I don't do that.
Listen, I've said it before.
You pay for the convenience, man.
Where I live, we're not really close to anything.
Yeah.
So whenever something is DoorDash to the house, it always comes
cold
or warm. Quote warm. I've never had a great DoorDash meal. I've never DoorDashed anything and went, wow, this is terrific.
It's a worse experience now because if you don't pay the extra $5 or whatever it is to make sure it's just from there to you, they got to pick up 2 or 3 orders to make it worth their while. And it'll say like, hey, your estimated delivery time is 37 minutes. And then close to the 30-minute mark, it says, 43 minutes. And that pushes it back, and you know that your food has already been done. They're not pushing back making your food. They're pushing back you getting your food. And I get it. I understand. I mean, I'm not going to complain because that's what it is.
Yeah. Or, hey, if you're going to complain, get your ass
or pay the
into
extra.
your cold car.
I'm a curbside queen. Like I'll just go get it.
Yeah.
Like if I don't want to actually go somewhere and they have curbside, that's the best.
That's
then
I love that.
And then you can speed home.
Well, typically we're doing it. We're doing it for the convenience. We're trying to buy our time, and it's because crud, we planned on making dinner tonight, but we ran out of time. We're doing this. We're doing these. My wife is working from home, so she's working 20 hours a day. And it's like, it's one of those like last minute, like, you know what? We just gotta pay for the convenience.
And I know it
too
sounds
busy right now.
silly, but where you're at, you're kind of in a island. It's a little distance to all those restaurants. And where I
not
live,
close to any of it.
I can go to a spot, in 2 minutes and grab it and come back home.
Me too. There's no real place that's close.
So that makes more sense.
Where the food's gonna. I've never had a DoorDash meal delivered to me hot, and not to mention, do we know who's picking up our food?
No.
Yeah, trustworthy.
Well, a
We
name.
don't.
Out of sight, out of mind.
No, I know.
No,
I get that.
And I see him most of the time. We
too.
engage, and I've been usually fine or impressed.
But we hear the stories.
Yeah.
We hear the stories of these very disgruntled delivery people, whether it be Amazon delivery, whether it be what's the one that do the shopping for you?
Instacart.
Instacart.
I think there was a story last year of an Instacart driver dropping groceries off, realizing they didn't get tipped, and then just packing everything back in the car and leaving.
Jeez.
Yeah, they had a nervous little breakdown there.
They had a nervous breakdown. Did you ever see
I remember
did you see that
hearing
video?
about it, yeah.
Like literally took everything out, noticed on the app, no tip, put everything back in the
done.
car and left.
Yeah.
It's a lot of effort to stick it to somebody.
Yeah, we've also heard of DoorDash drivers yelling at people about not tipping.
Yeah.
Well,
That always goes good.
it's kind of even though, because there's a lot of people in their homes, including us, that are yelling at you for getting the wrong substitute when clearly it said no substitutes. Or what are you
is the
thinking? This
worst.
peanut butter is nothing like this peanut butter. They're completely different sports. If this one was
But
out,
again, you're complaining. But then you know what? You're
Go to the store.
whenever you do the Instacart, you are taking. There's an inherent risk.
yes,
Yep.
There's an inherent risk of you not getting what you want.
That's the agreement.
Yeah, it's like
There's
owning
an agreement.
It's like owning
so
a
let's
business.
not get mad.
It's
No.
like owning a business and knowing that there's like a loss. What is it?
A loss leader.
Yeah, like there's a percentage of product
profits and
loss.
loss,
You know,
P&Ls.
yeah, that you're gonna lose. It's gonna be lost in shipping,
That's got to weigh
damaged,
into the
or stolen.
equation
Yeah.
Yeah,
of your laziness equation.
yes, 6% of this will be messed up.
Listen, I'm only wearing underwear right now. Do I want to put pants on to go to the store?
No.
So I'm going to take a chance of not getting the peanut butter I want.
That was me on Sunday. I didn't want to go to the store.
Now, I totally understand the DoorDash drivers who are making, most of the time it's a side hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's I have a regular job. My side hustle to get a little extra money is DoorDash.
Mm-hmm.
They don't pay a lot. You're pretty much working on tips. You're using your own car. You're pumping your own gas.
And you're doing the thing that is annoying that the person buying doesn't want to do. So it's an annoying job.
It's an annoying job,
Yeah.
period. If you have a certain personality, maybe it's not for you.
Yeah, like Scott Rizzuto would not do well in this
That's a
type
good
of
Probably not. Maybe I would do well at first. Maybe the whoa, this is a new thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm driving around and I'm picking up orders and it's
interesting what people
interesting.
are ordering. Yeah.
And then you go, okay, this person is not tipping me. Okay, fine. Or this tip sucks. And then you get to the point of this will not stand.
Right. Time
Like
to quit.
that would be, this will not stand. And now I need to make my feelings known to the person whom I've gone to wherever, picked up their food. There's no tip.
Insta rage. Yeah.
If you're a this will not stand sort of person, you
It's
probably
not for
shouldn't.
you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of jobs that aren't for you.
It's not for you.
It should be seasonal. It should go, okay, because one time a teacher friend of mine said, great advice. She goes, if you're ever in a job or a gig and you start to get cynical, it's time to get out. It's time to change. And so, this is for everything from a career to a side hustle. Just take a break.
And this is what Moon just said, too. If you do this job, you have to have in your mind where you're going to have some loss.
You're going to have some.
So it's the same battle. You're going to get the wrong peanut butter for somebody. They're going to be mad at you, but you're also
There are people
occasionally
that
not
are
gonna get a
jerks
tip.
that occasionally they're not going to tip you.
Yeah.
I think that's the
So I
attitude
think
of
you-
most
you
tip
know that.
jobs.
But there's a point where you go, F you, F this job,
And F myself.
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here, and I'm going scorched earth. There is a video of a DoorDash delivery driver
Oh, great.
going viral because the driver did not see a tip on the order.
Which company?
It's DoorDash.
DoorDash.
So what she did was she left an angry note in the bag. So in the bag of food, she writes, "Lucky for you, I didn't bother the food. But next time, consider tipping your driver." So basically saying, hey, lucky for you, I didn't tamper with your food.
Yeah, lucky for you, threat.
Oh, wow.
Lucky for you, non-tipper, I didn't tamper with your food.
It sounds like a
That's a soft
poem
threat,
or-
man. That's a soft threat.
Right.
Over the line, Smokey.
And in my head, I'm like, how many of these people are out there
Market zero.
Yeah.
that are on the verge of snapping?
Right.
That are not. It's not going to be lucky for you. It's going to be I did tamper with your food.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now this story has a very happy ending.
It's the movie Falling Down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's one of the
With
greatest
Michael
films
Douglas.
of all time.
Yeah. Listen, I don't think. I hope a delivery driver's not going to end up like Michael Douglas in Falling Down. Which, by the way, in that movie, do you know you never know his name?
Oh, that's cool.
You never find out the character's
You never
name?
find out the
Really
character's
love that.
name.
Because
I
we
love
are that.
Oh,
All
wow.
of us are that
We
character.
never find out the character's name. I think in the credits, you don't even know his name.
That's crazy.
Let's
I
call
didn't
him-
realize that.
Let's call him Bob.
I forget what they refer to him in the credits as.
Like disgruntled employee or
I think so.
something like that. And then you also learn that every cop, as soon as they retire, their last day, there's the wildest story of their career.
Yep.
That's what happens every time a cop retires.
It's the movies. Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, back to this DoorDash.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Back to the DoorDash. So there is a happy ending to this story.
Oh, there is.
Uh-huh.
She fell in love with the woman.
No.
Oh.
No.
She fell in love with the
delivery
bag.
driver does not see a tip on the order, assuming the person was going to stiff her, leaves an angry note in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
But then the customer opens the door holding cash.
Old school.
Can I?
Ooh,
There's something in that bag I need to take out.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah, hang on a
Oh,
minute.
I have the audio. Of what
Please.
I have the
Oh,
audio of what transpired.
That's great.
This is what transpired.
Hello. Ignore it. You keep that.
Okay. So door opens, and I'm sure
Ignore.
DoorDash driver is like, I mean, ready to, like, you bitch.
The DoorDash driver tells her to keep it. Who was saying keep it?
The DoorDash driver.
Okay, because she's like, you keep that money
Holy
because I'm
cow.
a total bitch.
Listen to what she first says. Ignore it.
Okay.
Ignore the note. Listen.
I like this.
Hello. Ignore it. You keep that. Why? Because I didn't see a tip on the app and I put a little card in there. So please keep that. I'm sorry.
No, I just had cash. Please.
It's okay. It's okay because it's okay. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Hey, man. Instant confession. That's great.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
You know what? Everybody, we all make mistakes, and she won't do that again.
And she heard, you can hear it in her voice. She just had a moment.
Mortified.
yeah.
Yeah, she's
she
like, oh, I
mortified.
overreacted. I'm a total a-hole.
and she's had a tough.
And yeah,
Man,
we've all
that's
we've
really
all had
cool.
those moments.
Yeah.
It's like foot and mouth, like just instantly, like oh, boom! Karma just smacked me so
Yep.
quickly that I
Lesson
learned
learned.
my
I
lesson.
had a moment, and this could have been like
Humbled.
the fifth house that she thought
Sure.
was gonna stiff her.
I'm glad she didn't take the money. That shows her soul. She's like, I had a moment. You know what? I don't deserve this money. I'm out. Like,
Wow.
you heard in real time a real human being right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That we
dude.
all are.
And you know she lost a couple hours of sleep that night.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And now it's gone
She's
viral.
like, this won't go viral,
This
right?
poor
And now it's
thing.
gone viral.
There's no way this could go viral.
What an idiot! What was I thinking? You know, it was one of those moments.
But at least it's a good viral one where you see somebody, like you said, admit their mistake and quickly repent of it and walk away. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We got him. Hey, we all have weakness. That was her weakness being highlighted right there.
Yeah.
But once again, I go back to, okay, this is a happy ending. Mm-hmm. Who's delivering my food? Is there any vetting process?
No, that'd be discrimination.
I have not
sure
had
they
any.
do.
I have not had any bad experiences in my DoorDash history
Yeah.
that I know of.
Yeah, there's probably been something going on. Somebody's stolen a fry out of a bag that you've gotten, I bet.
Somebody said on the instant feedback, no tip, no trip.
Whoa.
No tip, no trip.
Yeah. Well,
Listen, I know where you live. You live near.
how do you know where I live?
Whoa, that's
You live
another
close
soft threat.
to. You live close to quite a few great places to eat.
Yes, I can walk to great places to eat if I want.
Can you walk to Lee's Chicken?
Yes.
which Moon had yesterday.
What?
Guys, I'm off chicken, so I'm getting real triggered right now. Go on. It's delicious. Go on. What happened?
I've never had
Yeah.
it. I've never
I've had it.
Was your first time yesterday?
No, I think it was my second time.
Did you get the big bucket of tea?
It was one of those where I was running behind, and it was going to be a marathon day. By the way, this is the only thing I ate all day until 9:45 last night. I was running behind. I had a haircut. I was on my way to a rad barber shop down in St. Charles, and I was like, I gotta get something. I gotta get something. And I just pulled in. I saw, drive-through, whoop, and I looked up, and Lee's Chicken.
Lee's. What? You just pulled into a drive-through?
It was like the last. I knew that it was the last anything with a drive-through before I could get where I was going. And I went, oh no, oh yeah, and I just blinker boom.
I didn't know what I was pulling up to.
I know, I really
saw
didn't.
The board.
I'm not kidding.
What?
I remember like, hey, there's something with a drive-through right here past the Starbucks, and I just went, there it is, and I turned in, and I went, it's Lee, it's a Lee's.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a Lee's, and now I do.
What'd you get?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I did no. Just listen to me.
Stroke it out at the Lee's Chicken.
No,
yesterday.
just listen to me.
I'm going to take your keys away.
I know. You don't know
What's going
what
on?
place you're at. You don't know what
Let me
food
get there.
you got.
Let me get there. I went into the drive-thru and I pulled around. And they said, "Hey, what do you want?" And I said, "Can I have a chicken sandwich?" And they said, "Yeah, what kind?" And I said, "What's the best?" And they said, "We have a regular, a spicy, and then some new honey." Ooh. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Some honey thing. And I said, "Which one's your favorite?" And they said, "Everybody loves the honey something."
Mike's Hot Honey.
Yeah, everybody said they like the new honey thing. I said, "Cool, one of those, please." And they said, "Meal?" I said, "No," and that was it. And I went through and I inhaled the thing and I got a haircut.
Was it good?
It was great. It was wonderful.
I want to try it.
Hot honey, man. That's the thing.
It was wonderful.
Hot honey's so hot right now.
So hot.
Dude, it's so hot.
My mouth is watering. Yeah.
Hot honey is a big trend.
It was is that what it is? Hot honey?
Yeah, Mike's Hot Honey.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
what it
that's.
says.
But I guess it's a newer sandwich on there.
It says if you don't know what to order when you go through the drive-thru, this is what they'll give you.
Yeah, I like the asking the waiter. I like the asking you like, hey, I don't know what do you want?
What kind of side did
Great.
you have? Fries?
No side.
No side.
Just straight up
No
chicken
thanks.
sandwich?
No time.
No, hot honey was a big trend last year. I think it's going to continue on.
Love it.
Yeah, I looked at the biggest food trends of last year. Hot honey was like the number one food trend.
Is that why you brought up Lee's? Oh, no,
No, I'd never been to Lee's.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it
neither
was
have I.
good.
No, I know Lee's is right by your house.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Been deleted.
I know I'm going to get yelled at, but I feel like I'm just not experienced. So if you put down a Popeye sandwich and a Lee's sandwich and a something or other, I couldn't.
tell the
I go,
difference.
that's good,
That's how
and
I am,
that's
too.
good, and that's good.
That's how I am too.
Yeah.
I think most people are like that.
'Cause
Just
everybody
the
says-
crazy 1% that are like brand loyal,
Well, everybody says KFC makes a great
sandwich?
sandwich.
They all
Like to
have
compete,
them now.
and I
Popeyes.
I think that stuff got so serious with Popeyes, because and the only thing I remember that was like really
What was the
different
chicken
about that
sandwich wars?
was the bun. Right. I think that
Chicken,
like
the great chicken sandwich wars.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yes, of
2020.
it raised the level of
Brutal.
those where they all
We
had
lost
to
a
like
lot of men.
compete.
Lost a lot of good men out there.
They all had to compete.
No, seriously,
So everybody
people
makes a
getting
great
stabbed.
sandwich.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember,
that's
people
right,
were
'cause
stabbing other
Popeyes.
people in Popeye's chicken lines.
Meanwhile, Lee's has the hot
Mike's
honey
hot honey
or whatever,
sandwich.
and
It's world
great.
peace over at
Moving
Lee's.
on.
Yeah, no, listen, I hear Lee's with their fried chicken is great.
Dang.
All right, so the food trends that dominated last year, hot honey. It was poured on meals from chicken to pizza, even ice cream. They were talking about putting hot honey on ice cream. Bagels. Bagels had a big 2023.
Really?
Bagels.
I made a
Big
lot of money on because I bought a ton of
2023.
bagel stock last year.
Love a bagel.
I know you guys make fun of me about like not knowing where I am or this or that, but like I just don't prioritize those certain things. Like time is everything to me, and I'm just like, I don't have time. I'm going to this. I'm going to this. I'm going to that.
Some guy said you're eating a napkin and there's like a silver alert. It's fine. Everything's fine.
No, it's just like listen. If I'm going to stop at a fast food place, there was not a lion's choice within throwing
See,
distance.
for
so
me, I'm planned out. Like, yes, I've a very tight schedule as well. But I'm like a general. Like I got a map. Like
yeah.
Nickname, the
No, that's what
general.
I mean. I hadn't planned food.
I got a map. Oh, and I'm planning out like, okay, if I got to take this kid from here to here, and I got to stop, somewhere in between. Here are my options.
See, I'm Donnie Darko. In Donnie Darko, whenever he's seeing the thing come out of his belly and it's showing him where he's going to go at the party, that's how my hunger is. And so, like last night, I really wanted tacos, and the Donnie Darko hunger laser out of my belly started going, and we got tacos. So
Where'd you get tacos from?
from my kitchen, Tim made them. Yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty cool.
Well, also
I love food, but I eat to survive rather than I eat to live rather than live to eat. At the bottom of
a big food trend last year was birria tacos.
I'm sorry, what?
Birria tacos. That's like the slow cooked beef.
That's everywhere now.
I'm not about that life.
And you dunk the shell in the juice.
Oh, the au jus.
Oh my goodness,
Dude.
Don't tell me
Stop
the calorie
it.
count
like
there.
a corn tortilla. Shut your
I'm in.
face.
So it's slow cooked beef, like shredded cheese, and then you like corn tortilla. You dip in the juice that this beef stews in.
Yeah, let the fat.
And then you fry it up.
Oh my goodness.
Sounds like a lot of time.
Dude, if
too.
you know, you know.
You know what's really
I made
good?
it. I made them at home. Rocked it.
You did?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell us last year.
birria.
Beer. B-I.
Never even heard that.
It's on
R-R-I-A.
every menu. If you go to
Go to
Chipotle or
Rockstar
whatever.
Tacos.
What? No,
Chef Will.
you're thinking of barbacoa.
No,
No, birria.
Yeah.
B-I-R-R. If you know,
it's,
you
it's
know.
popped up. Trust me, when you go now, you'll see it on all the menus.
Yeah, it was a hot item last year.
Rockstar Tacos is so damn good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
they-
a
But if you go there, ask
that's a
Will
cut
for the
above.
birria.
That's that stuff with like some chef love.
I have some good news. Speaking of that, I
Oh.
was cleaning an area of my house, so I was moving some furniture out, and I found a pic that said a free taco.
All
Right.
right.
Rockstar Taco. So I am going
Get down
very
there.
soon. This
I'm
is
sure
very
Will
good
will
news.
give you a free taco
They make
if you
their own
want one.
hot sauce at Rockstar Taco. And last time we were there, I was there with Jimmy Griffin last time, and we were all doing samples of the hot sauce that they got in the back that's like in vats.
Yeah.
And like it was so hot. I didn't do it, but like Jimmy and Bill Ryder from El Montero did it, and they were like, you could see the smoke coming out of their ears. It was so damn good.
Yeah, that place.
birria.
Another birria, B-I-R-R-I-A. Terrific. If you have a chance, try them. In other food news, if you don't have a rooting interest in the NFL playoffs, like who we all rooting for? Probably the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
You want to know who I'm?
Or do you have no rooting interest, or do you care?
I'm going to go opposite of the Chiefs if they make it in the Super Bowl, just to keep it interesting at my house and in this studio with Rafe Williams.
and you're off chicken, huh?
I'm off chicken, yeah.
Oh man!
I'm a
So
total
if you don't-
bitch for
If you don't have a
2024.
rooting interest in the NFL playoffs and you love chicken, then you are in the same boat as Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen, which was founded in New Orleans, the home of the Saints. Popeyes wants to give you something to cheer for, so they're giving away free wings if a team wins the Super Bowl that involves wings. So if a bird team wins the Super Bowl, free wings.
I'm so upset about this.
So you have two bird teams in the playoffs right now that have a chance.
I wish I would have known this before I made my resolution for no birds in 2024. Because this is great.
So there are two remaining bird teams. There are the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles. They're also counting the Buffalo Bills, apparently, for the Buffalo Wings connection. So if one of those three teams wins it all on February 11th, customers, free 6-piece order of wings with any purchase 2 days after the Super Bowl.
They're going to go bankrupt.
If one of those
Yeah.
teams wins.
That's crazy.
You have to buy something, too.
Oh, okay. Well, there's the
So
stipulation.
free 6-piece of wings with any purchase 2 days after the Super Bowl on February 13th, which is also Mardi Gras, a.k.a. Fat Tuesday. So it all lines up. New Orleans
that's
thing.
perfect. All right.
And I was thinking, all right, what if the Cleveland Browns win? Can like Duncan Hines hook you up with like free, brownie mix?
Yep.
Ooh.
UPS is going to give us free shipping for one day.
Or maybe Ace Hardware gives out free plungers. I'm just saying.
Ooh.
You're a marketing man.
McDonald's news.
I'm all ears.
If you didn't get to try this 4 years ago, now's your chance. McDonald's is bringing back the double Big Mac for a limited time. They first debuted it on March 10th, 2020, just days before the entire world shut down thanks to COVID.
Yeah.
So not many people got to try it. So, guys, it's like a normal Big Mac.
Uh-huh.
But
Only
with,
4 patties.
But with 2 patties on top and 2 patties on the bottom. So it's a total of, I did the math in my head, 4 patties.
Wow.
Wow.
Very good.
Dang.
Hey,
That's
when-
a lot of patty.
I had my Filet-O-Fish, on January 1, and people were like, oh, you got to get the double Filet-O-Fish. I didn't know you could do that. You could ask for a double Filet-O-Fish.
You know there's a whole McDonald's like secret menu.
No, I did not.
And it's just called double. And
Yeah.
you just double
And you just
things.
double
Put
it,
a sauce
and they
on
charge you
that?
double.
Yes.
But keep it secret. Keep it safe.
That's
Pretty cool.
It's so cool. I'm going to go to McDonald's after the show.
Get a chicken
They're so the double Big Mac, that's back. You got to be a real gavone to get that. You got to be a real pig.
Big old meathead. Yep.
A Big Mac is enough.
Pile on the meat.
Wow, that is huge.
I saw some chef yesterday was on social media going, hey, McDonald's got to start putting warnings on these things.
They do. They have a calorie count.
Like, this is ridiculous.
It's on you, bud. Maybe that's all you eat that day, and that's cool.
Like, so the McDonald's secret menu, there's something like the land and sea.
The land and sea meal?
The land and sea meal where it's like,
yes.
you know, the filet of fish and, it's a land, sea, and air burger. Big Mac, filet of fish, McChicken, all in one.
Wow.
Hey, the Big Mac on its own is 720 calories. So imagine, like, you're probably adding...
Double, right?
Well, I mean, you're not doubling the bread or the other stuff. So I don't know. Probably, what, 400 or 500 more calories, maybe 400 more calories. So, I mean, you're in the 1100s. You're over 1,000.
Jeff says the double filet of fish is not good. It's not enough sauce on it. Too much fish.
Don't tell me how to live, Jeff. I will make that choice later today and let you know tomorrow.
Okay, so according to the interwebs, there are these McDonald's hacks. So you could add an egg on your burger.
What?
Add a round egg, folded egg, scrambled egg, or scrambled egg whites to any sandwich or burger that doesn't already have it. Availability most locations.
But they say, like, after 10 o'clock or whatever, the breakfast all goes away. So, you know.
They said most locations. Most locations will also offer the apple pie McFlurry, which is a McDonald's pie blended into a McFlurry.
Oh,
Damn, those
my
apple
mistake.
pies are good, too.
My mistake. McDonald's double Big Mac, the one you talk, that has 720 calories.
Oh,
so that's
really?
fewer than I thought.
That's not too bad.
That's not
Yeah,
great.
and if you get rid of
It's
the
not great,
bread,
but-
it's probably about 50. Cause
If you get rid of the
there's not
bread,
really
then you just got hamburgers all over your plate.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, why are we doing a sandwich?
Steamed bun is awesome.
Also available, the Big Mac and Cheese, a vegetarian option suited for those who do not eat meat.
Like meat? Hello, yes. What is that? Just,
It's everything Big Mac minus the meat.
oh, that's just like a cheese sandwich.
What did you say, though? You said Big Mac and cheese?
Yeah, Big Mac and Cheese.
If I went up and I said, can I have a Big Mac and cheese? They're going to give me a Big Mac with cheese.
I'm dying for McDonald's to get on board with Impossible or Beyond. I mean, who was it? Like
Burger
Wendy's?
King.
Burger King. Yeah, they had the Impossible
Impossible
Burger.
No, McDonald's
And I
is-
loved it.
McDonald's has done that for ages.
Oh, because it's not really meat.
Yeah. So you're good
There's
to
the-
go. You don't
there's
have to
the
worry
Big
about any
McChicken.
animals getting killed with them.
The Big
Big
McChicken.
McChicken, which is a Big Mac with McChicken patties in place of the buns.
We used to, the first couple times went over to Japan and a couple other places, you know, like McDonald's was like a safe place, you know. We some of us were adventurous and some of us absolutely were not. There was two of the guys only ate McDonald's.
It was ridiculous.
Even in China, like we walked miles so they could go to McDonald's. And they have different menu items over there.
I bet.
But boy, I'm not sure that's the place to try new things. Because
Yeah.
the first thing I was like, oh, I'm going to try something new at the McDonald's in Tokyo. EB sandwich. What's an EB sandwich? Yo, it's shrimp. It's a shrimp burger.
That, and it looks like it's in hash
looks-
brown.
Dude, it looks like a play. It looks like a toy that a kid would play with in one of those like pretend kitchens. It just
Really?
doesn't look real. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look like
Oh,
food.
man.
Yeah. EB sandwich.
How about this one, the McBrunch Burger?
Yes.
Burger combines the best of breakfast and lunch, but could even be had at dinner. Egg, jalapenos, hash browns, and cheese piled high on your burger. Okay. The McGangbang, a McChicken sandwich inside a McDouble.
I'll have one McGangbang, please. Thank you. With a Coke.
The Monster Mac, Big Mac with 8 beef patties.
The Monster Man. I
Wow.
love that.
Have they done the Pan Mac yet? Where it's like the pancake or the.
No, that is called the McCrape,
Okay.
a hot cake filled with yogurt parfait. So they use a pancake as a crepe.
There's something about eating those pancakes,
Yeah.
hot cakes on the McDonald's styrofoam that's really excellent. I don't know, and I'm not pro styrofoam, but
Yeah, I don't know. There is something weird about the McDonald's styrofoam.
because it kind of soaks up the syrup too. Like you
there's
can kind of eat that too, I guess.
There's the EB sandwich.
here's
Yeah,
the-
there's like little bits of shrimp in there.
Here's the
It's a
EB
hash
burger.
brown with
gross.
shrimp in it.
Yeah, it's got like shrimp spines sticking out of the.
And I just
the
remember
fried
one
patty.
advertisement I saw over there where it showed like half of that was shrimp and half was this, and the way they displayed it was one of the grossest looking.
Yeah, dude.
Well, and
substances I've
probably
ever
great.
seen.
like McDonald's around the world, they have different menus. In fact, some I think serve spaghetti.
Yeah.
And there's nice
Whoa.
ones too, right? And somewhere like in France or something.
They're
they have
all
an
nice.
upscale one.
They're all nice. Listen,
Yeah.
by the way, if you want to get this double Big Mac, hits the menu on January 24th for a limited time. Oh, and you know what was also big last year? These Crunchwrap Supremes. I saw them all over social media. People trying to make them at home. Well, Taco Bell is now selling meal kits at Walmart so you can make it at home. If you've ever gone to Taco Bell and thought, I wish I could cook like this at home. Good news. They're selling these meal kits at Walmart so you can make your own Crunchwrap. For the first time ever, Taco Bell's offering Crunchwrap Supreme and Chipotle Chicken Quesadilla meal kits.
These look awesome. I never knew what a Crunchwrap Supreme was, but this looks amazing.
Oh, so it's a big,
Yeah.
big flour tortilla. It's a flour tortilla, and then inside the flour tortilla is all the fillings, and then you put a hard shell on
There's a
top and
hard
you
shell.
seal her up.
No,
That is the best thing on there.
No, there's a hard shell inside, so that way
Yeah,
the
that's what I mean.
crunchies. Oh, okay.
So the hard shell on top of the fillings.
Oh, right, and then you
seal
wrap it.
You wrap it,
Oh my goodness.
and then you seal it.
That's brilliant because that's the only reason I don't like the hard shell stuff is because it's a mess. But this looks
It's
like
awesome,
it's
and it's perfect. Whenever you take the first bite, you get to, basically empty out a whole packet on that first bite. You just keep emptying out packets every bite, but
Yep.
it is.
Dude.
They are good. Though.
Yummy.
I love the Crunchwrap.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks amazing.
But now you can
So
buy.
hungry right
You can
now.
now buy the kit at Walmart. It comes with the seasoning. It comes with the crunchy tostada shells. It comes with Velveeta cheese sauce.
Shut your face.
There's something about Taco Bell that upsets my stomach, and I can't figure it out. I can't figure out what it is.
Might
I
be
don't-
the food.
And there's something about Taco Bell that soaks up all the alcohol I drank that I'm not hungover the next day.
Man, I was craving
that.
Del Taco so much. It was about 2 weeks ago or so, and it was after church at night, and I was just wanting Del Taco, and for some reason, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a Taco Bell down the street on Airport Road. So I was like, it's not even close to Del Taco,
Listen,
but
it is
at
what
least
it
it'll
is.
be that.
It is what it is.
It gave me a fix. It was good.
Good.
Somebody's
I haven't had it in a
abuelita's
while.
not
It
in the
was
kitchen
yummy.
making me tacos.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You go there
And it's
knowing
good.
you just need something sustenance that tastes decent.
I got that and the cheesy bean and rice thing.
It's
so
good. It just hurts, and I have to narrow down what it is. Is it the sauce? Is it the cheese? What
It's the
is it?
beans.
Something hurts me.
It's those beans.
You think
What,
so?
do you eat a
Oh, I
lot of
know
it
so.
too?
No.
Okay.
Refried beans. Hurts all of us.
Yes. Oh, speaking of that. Oh, boy. Speaking of that.
Bean news?
Not a bean news, but something that beans could cause.
We're not ready for
Okay,
bean
no.
news.
Tim, listen
We
up, you
need-
bean fool.
We need music and a bed and a warning for bean news.
It's not. It's not. This may have been caused by beans. I don't know.
Get the fart sounder ready because I feel like we're going to need it. It's bean news.
That felt good.
So, what's a worse scenario on a plane?
There's a lot.
The door plug rips off at 16,000 feet, or this happens.
Oh, boy.
Oh no.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm not in the row where the door rips off,
This is the next
this
worst
maybe is worse. Somebody on Reddit posted about a recent Delta flight from Birmingham, Alabama to Atlanta that was less than great. 20 minutes in, a terrible stench spread through the cabin. And no one knew what it was until they landed and deplaned. As they were getting off, they spotted a seat 8 rows in front of them covered in caca. Covered.
Ew.
Turned out another passenger had soiled themselves and just decided to sit in it for the entire 1 hour flight.
Well, yeah, what else are you going to do? They didn't bring carry-on luggage.
And you said it was Birmingham, right? That airport.
Birmingham,
They're not going to
They
walk
just
to
opened
the
up that
back of the
new-
plane.
Birmingham to Atlanta.
Yeah, last month they opened that new Taco Bell in that.
You said
Birmingham
this
to
was the
Atlanta.
front of the plane.
Whoever posted this story said 8 rows in front of them, as they were deplaning, they saw just a disaster.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to get up out of their mess to
The
go to
other-
the back of the plane, I bet.
Another passenger soiled themselves, just decided to sit in it for the 1 hour flight. Another passenger backed up the story in the Reddit comments. Said they were in the same row as the pooper, but across the aisle. That person said the substance in question was, quote, on the seat spread out like peanut butter.
Oh.
This is my nightmare. This is it.
They also said they watched the person leave the plane and sprint straight to the airport restrooms.
Yes.
A lot of the people in the comments felt bad for them,
I feel
Yeah,
bad.
that's
since they were obviously in some sort of distress.
That is the distress.
With a stench like that, they probably wish the door plug ripped off. The fresh air would have been nice.
Yeah.
Man. And it's probably, it's a 1 hour flight. It's one of those small planes, probably one seat and then two, the three row.
I hope they do this in a new scary airplane movie where this happens first, the mistake in the seat, and then the door opens and, starts sucking everything out, and all that stuff just starts spreading all over everybody, and it's just lovely.
Okay. We'll do that.
What a bummer.
Well, was anybody see more stories about the door that ripped off? So they grounded those MAX 737s. And there's a story of, so the person who was supposed to be sitting next to where the door ripped off, did not show for their flight.
Amazing.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But there was a kid in the middle seat.
What?
And he was
in the emergency aisle, and there's a kid there?
Maybe he was with his mom or something.
He's an older kid.
Older.
Oh,
Older
like
kid.
a teenager?
Yeah, like a teenager.
Oh, okay.
This is why you keep your seatbelt on when you're sitting down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
If this hasn't sobered
this.
everybody about the seatbelt.
Well, remember the phones got sucked out of the plane.
Yeah, and so would Fred. Fred would have been sucked out of the plane if he wasn't strapped in.
So it's only at 16,000 feet. The person who was supposed to be sitting on that seat never showed. So there was a teenager in the middle seat. His shirt got ripped off, like a shirt.
So that was real?
That was real.
Interesting.
His shirt got sucked out.
But that was what helped the plane land safely, right? That little parachute?
Dude, that is the story of a lifetime. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah. Now, was he strapped in? Do we have any details about
he
how
had
he
a seatbelt
reacted?
on.
But
how he reacted, he scampered to another row, got to another row.
Wow.
Then actually took a selfie with a woman who kind of took him in the row.
Oh man.
She said the woman was. He said the woman was freaking out, and he took a selfie to kind of calm her down.
I saw a woman on TikTok who was on that flight do her kind of position on it. She said that she hasn't slept in 48 hours. Her nerves are so shot because she was so terrified. She's like, I have not slept. I mean, she's probably asleep now, but she was so freaked out that she could not sleep 48 hours later. I get it. I mean, I would have a hard time. I'd have a nervous breakdown.
I don't know. I think I'd just be excited that, oh my gosh, it's really tough to bring these things down. This is awesome. These are so well made that can happen and it's still flying just fine.
Yeah, well, because of how they weren't very high. I mean, they were.
Yeah, they
but
weren't.
still.
16,000 feet. I mean, they weren't at cruising altitude.
But still,
I wonder what would have happened if they were up at 30,000. If this would have been
the
worse.
pressure would be greater. So I'm sure.
I don't know. Here's what I read about that particular plane. They were having pressure problems. There were sensors going off prior to that flight. And you may want to verify this, but Alaska Airlines was like, we know there's been some problems with this plane, so we just won't have the plane go from the States to Hawaii because it'd be flying over water. Just in case something happens, at least we could put it down on land.
That is terrible.
So what happens with that kind of insight? Is that?
I think that's what the NTSB said.
Well,
they knew something. They were having pressurizing problems. So they're just we just won't take it off over water.
So they didn't do anything that violated anything. They didn't
They were
ignore
wise
a
not.
measure or something.
Yeah.
I guess not. So now people that freaking out? I don't know. An Air Canada passenger boarded a plane at the big airport in Toronto on Monday and just jumped out of a cabin door before he even took off for Dubai. So they said the passenger boarded the aircraft normally, but then opened a cabin door. Instead of taking a seat, it was a Boeing 747 Monday night. He fell 20 feet to the tarmac and got hurt.
Oh, jeez.
He dumb and dumbered it.
Yeah.
When Jim
It's
Carrey
okay,
goes,
I'm a limo driver.
Yes, he did.
oh no!
But he went out of the plane.
Right.
He went out of the plane.
Still the same height.
Oh, man.
That's awful.
And the incident delayed the flight's takeoff for almost 6 hours. If the fall didn't kill him, I would have killed him.
You're already being in Dubai.
Crews investigated the scene. They had attended this passenger. And a spokesperson for Air Canada said all the approved boarding and cabin operating procedures were followed. There's just a guy that just, I don't know. They don't know why. They're not sure, why he did it or how. I didn't read how hurt he got either, but he fell 20 feet.
That's big.
Until he hit the ground, I bet he
It's a big fall.
just thinking how much he loved land. And then you hit the ground, you're like, maybe I should have enjoyed the air more.
Had to be a freak out.
That's what it sounds like.
Just had to be a freak out. I feel bad.
Yeah.
And these stories, it's freaking people out that have never flown, or maybe you're flying for the first time. Maybe you're on the way to the airport right now. But I mean, they're interesting stories, and they make big, easy headlines because, one little thing like a door flying off.
Of course.
At 16,000 feet.
How many planes are in the air? And this brings me to my next point.
Right.
How do you feel about flying in an airplane? Are you afraid of it? Are you bothered?
I can't be.
Are you bothered by it? Are you not afraid at all, or are you not sure? Like, Lern, are you afraid of flying?
I'm not, but I can get nervous in situations on an airplane. Like if we're on the tarmac for way too long and I feel like I can't get up and move around, that's mainly like a kind of claustrophobic control issue. But as far as being up in the aircraft and flying, if that thing goes down, I've kind of made my peace with, I'm probably going to die. And that sounds really morbid and terrifying, but it somehow soothes me to know that I'm going to it'll be quick.
So just
probably.
take the question at its, how do you feel about flying in an airplane? Are you afraid of it? Are you bothered slightly by it? Not afraid at all, or you're not sure?
I'm slightly bothered, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid at all.
Over the course of flying since the 90s and professionally for like 23, 24 years, I've run every one of these emotions. I've had periods in my life.
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I've had periods when I've been just immensely stressed or whatever, and had actually some kind of issues with it. But the majority of my life and right now, I'm pretty much just like, this is what I have to do.
Where would you say you are?
Here we go.
Not afraid at all? Bothered slightly? Afraid? Or you're not sure?
I guess I'm not afraid at all right now.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, not afraid at all.
Not afraid
right
at all.
now. I enjoy them.
Although I know a lot of people that will not get on a plane.
Yeah.
There was probably about a 5 or 6 year stretch though where after we had 2 weird incidents on a plane, it was that was the kind where my hands would sweat the entire time, and I was nervous as heck. I'd take so many shots. I was like, bring me more.
My brother-in-law needs to take like a Xanax.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I don't care. I even take naps now. I've never been able to do that before.
I can sleep on a plane. I've only gotten worse about being bothered by flying lately. Like it's because of all the chaos that's happened, and it doesn't make me feel great. Like we have a bunch of trips coming up this year, and I'm like, I have to kind of psych myself up to just deal with humanity. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily about being up in the air. It's like all these other idiots that are on board with me.
It's almost not the mechanics of flying.
Yeah.
It's the idiots that are on.
Who's gonna lose it?
That are in the tube, the sealed up tube with you.
Right.
Okay, so YouGov did a giant survey, thousands and thousands of people surveyed. 53% of the people surveyed not afraid at all. 28% kind of slightly bothered. 14% are afraid of flying. And then it was like a 30,000 person survey. Now, what about this question? When taking a long trip somewhere, do you think it's safer to drive or fly?
Fly. That's what the stats are, right? Because car deaths are so prominent.
I mean, I do have the numbers. It is. Most people say it's safer to fly. 48%. 29% think it's about the same. Just as safe to fly as it is to drive, which is completely not true.
Wow. It's because we hear more about stories.
Is flying safer than driving? There have been effectively 0 deaths per 100 million passenger miles traveled by air in the U.S. each year from 2002 to 2020.
Wow.
And the leading cause of death between the ages of 1 and 54 are car accidents.
Air travel is safer than driving on highways in the U.S., and that is data from the U.S. Department of Transportation.
I mean, how many people do you know have died in a plane accident? Crash?
0.
How many people do you know have died in car accidents? You probably can't even count them.
Yeah.
Passenger injuries and fatalities in air travel were significantly lower than passenger cars, trucks for each year between 2002 and 2020. Flying is also safer than riding subways, trains, buses, and motorcycles.
It's because of the duration. Think about the hours in your life that you've been up in the air in an airplane versus the hours of your life that you've been on the roads in a car. I mean, it's just...
Well, don't forget, everybody up in the air, you're surrounded by only things being driven by professionals.
Yeah,
well,
that's true.
So from 02 to 2020, there were 614 total serious injuries in U.S. air travel, an average of 32 injuries a year. And that same time, 44 million people were injured in passenger cars and trucks on U.S. highways. That's approximately 2.3 million per year. So the average injury rate for air travel was 0.01 injuries per 100 million passenger miles traveled, compared with 48 injuries for the same distance traveled in cars and trucks.
All right.
So air travel is way, way, way safer.
Nice.
Now, what is the most dangerous way to travel?
Motorcycle.
By a lot.
Yep.
By a lot.
Because people don't see you, and you can screw up and put your bike. I put a bike down. I mean, it's not. You can really screw yourself up. So, yeah. And you're not wearing helmets. I mean, I know a lot of Missourian riders who were excited that the helmet laws became lax. Like, a couple years ago, they decided to kind of join up with Illinois. But man, I've known so many people that have screwed their bodies up from head injuries, and you know, people don't.
That's on them.
They're all invincible. You got to wear a helmet.
That's on them.
Yeah.
So as far as, again, injury rates per 100 million passenger miles, so motorcycles, 366.9, that's number one, followed by cars and trucks, 48. So there's that big of a difference. And air travel is basically zero.
Nice.
That's wild.
That makes me feel better. You know, that should just put everybody at ease. It's maybe flying.
And I'm hoping
today.
if you're driving to the airport right now and you're hearing these, stories of the door plugs falling off. And,
honestly, anything that I have rational fears about, typically, what I always say this is, I just play the stats. So I like these.
Yeah.
I
But
play
what
the
about
stats
the
with
little
everything.
private Cessnas and all that kind of stuff?
And I think those stats are in that.
Okay, so
Nice.
that's pretty wild.
Those stats are included in those numbers. So you're good. You're safe.
Yep, flying's good.
Just make sure you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I was
before.
just going to say, just don't take a laxative. Don't accidentally
make
take a
sure-
laxative instead of a Xanax.
You know what? Since
If
starting
you got
on
the
this
bubble
show,
guts, man, if you're feeling like something coming on, there are plenty of bathrooms available.
I surrender to a lot
the
of
terminal.
things. And after joining this show and hearing like at least every other week a airline story, like when I get on a plane, I'm going, I might be what we talk about on the show one day. And one of these, either by a freak out or poop
or
my
witness.
pants or.
And I really do believe, that, the people that do have to take I can't fly unless I take a Xanax.
Yeah.
You throw a Xanax in your body and you have a
Whiskey sour.
couple drinks.
Yeah.
And that's a recipe for I'm freaking out.
Yep.
Or
Oh, dang.
I've taken it. I got to do something to relax. I've taken an edible. I took too much.
Oh yeah, when edibles became the thing, and that was the trend, and it was all legal, and you're getting 60% weed or whatever it is. That's when a lot of these wacko stories on airlines started happening.
Oh, yeah,
and they
you're
weren't
right.
saying they were all saying the same thing. I don't know what I did. They never said, hey, I took some gnarly gummies or something, 100 milligrams of gummies. Instead, they're like, I lost my mind. I'm sorry. I don't know what it was. Something came over me. It was all the
First
same
question they
story.
ask you is, are you on something?
Yeah, but remember, it was always the same story. I was seeing demons.
No. Give me a cocktail, maybe a Xanax. Put me on the plane.
Yeah,
I'm having a good time.
Sure. I mean, you get, the person who gets belligerently drunk for years and years and years. Since they've started serving alcohol on planes, those are the stories. But now you throw in pills and you start
Pharmaceuticals.
throwing in weed. And now, what about the guy that was on mushrooms that tried to
know.
take the plane down?
I'm not doing any weeds or mushrooms getting on a plane. That's not for me.
Man,
Too much of a chance to freak out.
Yep.
back in the first era of going overseas, we were doing these 14, 15-hour flights, and the worst thing that ever happened is when you have an entire tour, not just the band, but the whole tour is on the flights, and we were doing it was Taste of Chaos, it was us and Killswitch Engage and
fun.
Rise Against, Used. Shoot, who else was on that? I don't remember, but there was a guy that I still to this day remember exactly how he sounded, because he sat behind me, and dude, people are on a 15-hour flight. They don't have to play the next day. Everybody's boozing.
Partying.
It is just a party. And by the ninth
Hanging out
hour,
with each other.
either half people are sleeping and half are just loud.
Yeah.
And
like friend
laughing.
trips.
Oh my gosh,
Dude.
dude!
Go on vacation with a bunch of couples.
Yeah.
That's the best.
It was wild. We had to be the most annoying. They were the most annoying people. I was trying to sleep.
Well, now start throwing pills into it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So imagine if
Little
they're
crack,
doing that.
little meth.
Imagine if
Not
they're
even that.
Imagine if they're doing that on top of like what people are doing now so leisurely. If we would have had freakouts all over it,
Yep.
over the middle of whatever continent we were over.
Or on antidepressants, you mix that in with
Although,
everything else,
you
you're a mess.
hear from people going, man, I took a gummy and I, zonked out and I was good. I ain't taking that chance.
Just in case.
Just in case.
It could be fun.
I don't know how that stuff hits me. One day it could hit me like, oh, man, this is cool and chill. And the next day I could freak out.
And you don't want to take the
That
chance at
should be
30,000 feet.
one of Steve-O's stunts is where he tries a new drug right before he goes on a flight like this and see what happens.
Steve-O is sober.
Yeah, he's sober, so
Those
that's
days are gone.
stupid.
It's not stupid. He's creative. Look at him.
Thank you.
All right, we got to take a break. Speaking of creative, the Craigslist Freak of the Week.
You do it, Scott. You could be the next Steve-O.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Do
That's
drugs for the
great.
first time.
Yeah, do
Great.
drugs and fly.
Uh-huh.
After the break, Craigslist Freak of the Week. But first, the Team Rizz Member of the Day, which is brought to you by Hot Shots. Proud sponsor, Team Rizz. Head up hotshotsnet.com/Team Rizz. From Cedar Hill, Missouri, Heather Tulloch is out.
Heather.
Heather is a longtime listener of both The Rizz Show and The Point, loves listening to the show every morning. The show always helps put her in the right mood for her morning commute to work, and it feels like a true family on the air. She enjoys a variety of topics discussed, and all the games that are played as well. Heather says, best radio show, hands down. Well, thank you, Heather. Heather Tulloch from Cedar Hill, Missouri, is our Team Rizz Member of the Day. Get your super sweet Team Rizz Member of the Day soccer jersey. Get yourself signed up, 1057thepoint.com/Team Rizz. So as I mentioned, the Craigslist Freak of the Week up after the break. 3 brand new ads for you. We got the YouTube up and working. Everything's all good. We're on camera. We need you in the chat room to give us those name suggestions for these 3 freaks that are about to be unveiled, unleashed.
Unearthed.
And then, of course, you'll vote for your favorite freak via Twitter at RIZZ Show. It is 7-11, Thursday, traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic is brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. The biggest race of 2024 is Sunday, June 2nd. Time to lock in your NASCAR Cup Series tickets now at www.raceway.com. We got a lane block due to a stalled vehicle 170 southbound just before Missouri D. Your Point forecast dry until tonight. High of 47. Right now it's 34 at the Point Studio.
I got to say once again, thanks to Urban Equipment for bringing some toys up here to Rizz Farm. And, we got to do some mulching. So Mike and Chad here brought a tractor with them. And check this out. It says Captain Rizz on the side. All right, so we're going to use this to get the mulch from and it's going to go into the trailer. So I don't know how to use this thing. So who's
AntonsHVAC.com, ANTONSHVAC.com. This is who I trust in my home. They've been doing everything, plumbing, heating, cooling, and energy experts for 40-plus years, and they are amazing. I have become a hero multiple times over because of Antons. Once with the water heater. Everybody can take showers now, and we have hot water for the dishes and the bathtubs and all that. That made a huge difference, and Anton's really helped me make sure that my home was staying efficient and that I got the right water heater. They do repairs. They do energy audits. I had them in the house to make sure, I was maximizing the efficiency and finding out where I may have been losing, my air conditioning or heat. And within 10 minutes of being in there, they suggested a few things that I could change and instantly made such a difference. Now my second story is not just ridiculously hot when the bottom story is comfortable. Everything's evened out. They made me a hero there. And it's a new year, so get some new comfort from Antons. Get a new system for as low as $100 a month. Ask about them, the special financing, the no payments on interest for 18 months. The offer is going to expire, so check out AntonsHVAC.com today. ANTONSHVAC.com.
What an absolute honor. This is first Ho-Ho show of 2017. Headliner tonight, Rise Against Tim McElrath from Rise Against. Absolute pleasure to meet you, man.
Good to be here, yeah.
So, okay, couple of things that I wanted to ask you about, but I think I'm going to kind of start on the serious side of things, if that's all right with you.
Let's do it.
It is an unbelievable time in our country politically. Some people would maybe not say that it's a sad time politically, but I think that it's one of the lowest points that I can ever remember.
Yeah.
As somebody that is keeping track of what's going on in the world, like I know you guys do, sometimes myself I get so frustrated with just the daily just punch in the face of it all that I kind of want to back away from it. How do you consume the news that's out there, and do you ever get that feeling like when you're reading like Twitter or Facebook or something, like, God, I feel like I got punched in the face just trying to get through the news of the day?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so overwhelming, and you're like, we live in such a tumultuous time right now, especially in American history. And for a band like us who've been plugging away just for like 18 years and singing about the ills of society and singing about things where places where we find injustice, we want to, like, you know, put water where the fire is. You know, it's kind of what we do. And so to have all these ideas that we thought made such progress on, like we made such progress on, I feel like racism and sexism and homophobia and xenophobia, and I feel like all that stuff kind of has come to rear its ugly head back again. And in this administration has such a permissive culture around all those ideas, which is sad. It lets you know and it reminds you that the monsters of racism and sexism don't ever really go away. No. You know, we put them behind bars, but they find their way out, you know, if we don't constantly maintain that visibility on those issues. And so it's interesting, as a band that's been trying to rile people up for 18 years, I'm excited to see people riled up.
Sure.
I don't care that if it wasn't Rise Against to do it. I don't care what did it.
Right.
And certainly this election did it. So I get to see a lot of people who have opened their eyes, a lot of people who have traditionally buried their head in the sand, who have now come out and said, I gotta be more engaged, I have to speak up when I hear something that's wrong. I see what happens now when good people stay silent, you know? And so we've been a band through 4 different presidential administrations, so we also realize that a lot of the problems with this administration, you know, are just symptoms of a bigger disease. There's an ideology that fuels administrations like this one, and the ideology is something that we like to attack. It's more effective to treat the disease than just to be constantly treating the symptoms.
Now I'm 41, and when the undercurrent, this is kind of a crazy, like when the undercurrent of racism started to sort of peak back up, kind of, and became sort of acceptable in the last couple of years, or what? Not acceptable, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, did it all shock you? It shocked me because
Absolutely,
I thought,
yeah.
like, I was like, this is still happening? Like we're really going backwards. So it really still took me a while to go, like, it's really like this now, huh?
Right. And to have, I think that, you know, I think all of us are aware enough to know that racism never really went away. It certainly has existed. And then there are parts of the country that keep it kind of politely under their hat, you know?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this kind of brazen attitude towards it, where it was this kind of unashamed, unapologetic racism, and this, which was really kind of like a dismissal of our history as a country. You know, you can't erase the history of our country. You can't erase, you know, there are beautiful parts of this country and there's ugly parts of this country, and you can't erase the ugly. You need to acknowledge it. You know? And that's how we become proud of where we live, is when we can reconcile our history. But if you choose to forget our history or conveniently ignore it, then that takes you down a really strange path, you know, and a really wrong path. So that's something, like I said, it's all about visibility and transparency and constantly talking about these things. And, you know, and you talk about how do you keep your head up in this era, and I feel like I'm lucky to walk on these stages like we will tonight, and I see hope in the eyes of every single one of those audience members. Like, I see people who they're fired up and they want things to happen. They want to put their hands on the steering wheel of history, and they want to affect its direction, and that encourages me. So when I go to bed, it's like there were a lot of good people in that audience tonight, and that makes me happy. How
did you get to be this way? Not necessarily politically, but how did you get that sort of bug? Was mom and dad? Did it come in after the fact? Was it a band? What was it?
I mean, definitely, like, my parents were Republican. They voted Republican. My family was not political in any way, shape, or form. We didn't talk about politics. You know, like, I didn't know the difference between a Democrat or Republican until I was well into my teens, you know. The music definitely hit me hard, but then...
And the 123 Mortgage Team, 314-862-0123. So if you're looking to improve your house, maybe pay off higher interest debt, or maybe finance education, or pay for other major expenses, you know, a home equity line of credit can provide the money you need using your home's equity. Now, with Kevin Putney and Equity Express, the process is fast, it's secure, it's fully automated. It's going to take you 5 minutes to apply, and you get 100% of your loan amount in as few as 5 days. Or maybe this year, you're looking to stop renting and actually buy a house. Kevin Putney's offering the Community Promise. You could get $6,500 in down payment assistance. Kevin wants to put, you know, home ownership within your reach. Their Community Promise can provide $6,500 in down payment assistance if you live in a qualifying neighborhood in select cities. Give Kevin a call, 314-862-0123. That's 314-862-0123 online at 123mortgage.com. Kevin Putney, Equal Housing Opportunity. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Restrictions do apply. Call for details. Cross Country Mortgage, LLC. NMLS 3029. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. 123mortgage.com. 314-862-0123.
We're talking about shopping local, right? STLmattressdirect.com. Mattress Direct, right here in St. Louis. Campbell Mattress, made here in Missouri. Missouri-made mattresses. Why pay to get a mattress made somewhere else and shipped here when you can get such a deal right here from Mattress Direct? And right now they're celebrating Campbell Mattress's 90th anniversary by giving you free sheets and 2 free pillows with a purchase of a Campbell mattress at Mattress Direct. Check them out now. STLmattressdirect.com.
All right, welcome back to the program. Phone number 314-624-3833 or 618-398-3833. The Mick Ultra Studio Cams. Hello. 1057thepoint.com/Rizz. The socials at RIZZ Show. Your emails, RizzShow at 1057thepoint.com. Instant feedback through the 1057 The Point mobile app. We'll get those messages directly here in the studio. All right, Craig's Freak of the Week coming up in just a second here. We'll talk to Chris Kerber. Chat some Blues hockey. We'll give away Point Fest tickets. We got an action-packed Thursday show for you. Crap on celebrities, porno birthday, your emails we'll get to. Right now, it's time for the Craigslist Freak of the Week. That's right. So we have 3, count them, 3 brand new ads for you. All of these ads are from Canada this week. We go to Oshawa, Ontario, Vancouver, and Toronto. So pretty much across the entire country.
What was the first one you said?
Oshawa, Ontario. Is that on the west side?
Oshawa.
Ontario is where Toronto is.
Yeah.
That's right above us.
Oh, okay.
And maybe a little east.
Little
I don't know where
mid-east.
Oshawa is.
I don't know where Oshawa is either.
Never heard of that.
We're going to Canada.
Let me look.
Regardless.
We're going to
I'm
Canada.
going to bring up the map.
Going to Canada, eh?
Oshawa.
Oh, hey.
How do you spell that?
Superstar comedian Tim Convey joins us.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Hey, sir. How's it going? Pretty stellar.
We're about to do the Craigslist Freak of the Week.
Oh,
Have you ever been to Oshawa, Canada?
I have not.
Yeah, me neither, man. I don't know where this is.
Take a seat. You have a couple minutes?
I do.
Okay, sit down.
Thanks for having me.
Here,
Thank you.
Move my crap.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Oshawa,
Canada.
Ontario. Oh, it's on the lake. Oh, it's just north of Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Man, Toronto's getting freaky these days, man.
Yeah, well, all right. So, Tim, by the way, who you could hear on the Courtney Show, you have a comedy weekend coming up?
Funny Bone. Yeah, it starts tonight. Westport
tonight.
Funny Bone, the original Funny Bone, tonight through Sunday.
See the very funny Tim Convey Funny Bone this weekend.
It's going to be good.
Tim is Moon's partner of the Punk Rock Machine.
Yes, and I haven't seen you. I mean, I've seen you, but we haven't publicly discussed your appearance at Punk
Oh,
Rock
Punk Rock Christmas. I had a great time.
Amazing.
His knees are okay
My knees
now.
are okay after I jumped off the drum riser. All good.
It was terrifying.
Yeah, I know. It was terrifying for me as well. I was wearing boots, and I'm not as nimble as I once was.
But even better than the year before. You were fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you guys did a wonderful job. And you got Can You Feel the Punk tonight coming up in May.
Yeah, tickets on sale tomorrow.
Tomorrow. 2 shows. It's ambitious.
That's ambitious.
Yeah.
I said ambitious.
That's cool, man.
Well, that's it.
That's ambitious
It's that-
and ambitious.
It's that as well. You're not wrong.
It's ambitious.
It's an inside joke.
Oh, ambitious.
But see Tim this weekend at the Westport Funny Bone. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Lern
glad to be here.
is going to read 3 Craigslist ads for
Disgusting
us.
ads.
You guys in the chat room, please name the ads.
They're prepared.
And then when Lern is done reading the 3rd and final ad, you guys will vote for your favorite freak via Twitter at RIZZ Show. And the winning ad will move on to the Freak of the Year tournament.
That's right.
So, Lern, let's get to it.
Okay.
Craigslist Freak of the Week with Tim Convey, ad number 1.
I'm going to look you in your eyes as I read
Oh,
this.
I love that.
Looking for a quiet roommate. Man for young woman, 37, Oshawa, Ontario. I'm looking for a new roomie. $250 a month. Requirements? Sometimes, at least once a week, I get really pent up and need a release. You have to help me with that release when called upon. But it won't take long at all. The discount is worth way more than this minor inconvenience. I don't need anything out of the ordinary. If you don't want to be sober for it, I've got plenty of booze. I tin bar at the place downstairs. I need you to clean at least once a week. No pets. You will also need to stomp on my balls with high heels once a quarter. And the biggest, most important requirement is that you are very, very, very quiet. You cannot tell anyone that you live here. I have a TV you can use, but we have to watch it with no volume. You must be like a church mouse. No loud walkers, talkers, and absolutely no loud moaning when we are both helping each other relieve stress. No noise, period. You'll get both of us thrown out of here. I have a code for you for the back door and the stairwell door, so no need for keys. It's a great location. I'm a good-looking guy in my 30s, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you. Please put move in the subject line. Serious inquirers only.
Okay, there you go. So,
Pretty cool.
Somebody looking for a roommate
It wants them to stomp on their balls.
once a quarter, which
Once
is
a
okay. I
quarter.
think it's
isn't
okay.
too big of an ask.
That makes
okay.
sense.
Not too big of an ask. Pent up. Needs a release once a week.
Yes.
Also, at least once a week. Also, for $250 a month.
What a steal.
What a steal.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, honestly.
And a great fear of being kicked out of that apartment. I like that. Like any wrong move, they could get kicked out. But also, this guy needs.
His balls stomped
Yes.
on. Yep.
But we got to do it quietly.
How's that going to go? Not well.
I don't know. I have a feeling he's a squatter, and this is not really his place.
No. He's pocketing that money and
Well,
murdered the person that lived there
This is
before.
a good
Great.
deal. According to the internets here, average cost to rent there in Oshawa is $2,373 a month.
Whoa.
What?
Crazy good deal.
What's going on up
That's
there?
a crazy good
So
deal.
this is
And
somebody's
above a bar.
This is somebody that's squatting that's
Yeah, that's what
looking
I'm saying.
Yeah.
for an extra $200.
I lived above a bar for 2 years.
Here in town?
No, in New York City.
What happened once a quarter?
Well, there was ball stomping, yes, there was. But it's not all that it's cracked up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The heels hurt.
Sounds like a good idea.
It sounds like a great idea at first, and then
Yeah.
you're like, on a day where you just can't deal with anything,
Yeah.
Your balls are squished. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like there's a lot of noise. We were directly above the bar.
How old were you at the time?
21, 22.
Oh, and even then, you're just like, no, not
I mean,
worth
it was cool to go downstairs for a drink.
Yes.
It was cool to like, hey, you want to come over? And then, we'll meet at the bar underneath my apartment. That's cool.
Yeah.
But, you
Just
can't-
the day in, day out.
it's like, enough.
Right.
There are
You're
some
getting your
days
balls
where it's
stomped
like-
on so it breaks up the monotony
That's
a
true,
little
yeah.
bit.
We're having a good
does.
time. Yeah.
This is not me, by the way. All right, names.
Well, the chat took a minute, and then the engine warmed up a little bit. Let's start with Muty and the Blowfish.
Okay,
Cute.
not bad.
Wow.
Silento, remember that? Silento.
Yeah.
Let's see, George W. Shush,
That's pretty good.
Kobe Silent, and Quiet Earp.
George W. Shush.
Yeah, that
is-
was
I think that's the
strong.
one. That is strong. George W.
Very well done.
Shush. Very well done. All right, on to ad number 2. Lern, coming at you.
Robot fantasy, man for anyone, 34, Vancouver. I'm looking for someone to role play with. I've been in Vancouver for about a year, and I'm not finding what I want in potential mates. My urges are pretty tame, but I do have one fetish I can't let go of in these modern times. I would like to be a robot and have my master hammer the hell out of me. I've been into cosplay for a long time, and some of my favorite characters are C-3PO and RoboCop. I get turned on when I go to conventions in layers of metal and gear. I'm looking for someone who wouldn't mind oiling my bolts and joints down while you ram your central processing unit inside my power supply chamber. Pick any one of my pleasure ports to get down with. And this role-playing will be very true to reality. I'm not wearing plastic costume plates. This is going to be full metal. There will be sharp edges, so look out. I honestly don't mind a little blood, but that's just me. I won't scream or cry because I have no feelings. I am a robot. You can program me to do whatever you wish, too. If you can't write code, move along. I'm looking for a computer tech nerd who is down with boffin his own creation. I am bisexual and down with whomever wants to get in on this fantasy with me. Please reply with mouse pad in the subject so I know you're real. I look forward to meeting you. Beep bop,
Okay.
doo bop.
Beep, bop, boop, bop. Boop, bop. All right, so this is a robot fantasy. Man, when he says pick any one of my pleasure ports to get down with, I got a whole bunch of things running through my central processing unit.
Power supply chamber.
Tim, your thoughts on this this freak from Vancouver?
I enjoy. It's the things you guys get into in here. I like so much. But every time, like she said, hammer, and I was like, well, that can't be what we're talking about. I'm like, oh no, that's what we're talking about.
Wow.
Yeah. I enjoy the euphemisms. That's what is that person like? Is that person? I don't know. That's a lot. That person works in the field, you think, or it's like that's where they?
This is an
put
MIT
their
grad.
sexual-
Well, they're using
this
jargon.
MIT grad works for Boston Dynamics. Moved to Vancouver.
Who's built a robot
Yeah,
outfit.
the dog robot, the yellow one.
I like them naming their favorite celebrity robots too. Like just so you know a little bit what I'm into. It's
Right.
not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
any robot.
It's
Can I say
RoboCop.
that?
I feel bad Johnny Five
rather
was
you not
not.
say that
Okay, we're
one.
not going to say that one. It's a good one, though.
That was the guy. I know which one you're
Not
talking
bad.
about.
I'd rather you not say that one.
I'm not going to say
All right,
that one.
suggestions for names for this freak.
Okay, let's start with Body Bonilla, B-O-T-T-Y. Steve 3PO. C3P Ho.
Yeah, I got that one.
C3P Joe.
Love it.
Let's see, Optimus Crime. But I don't know if
There's no crime
There's no
here.
crime here.
Pal 9000 instead of Hal 9000. Or let's see, Robot De Niro.
I mean, he's a Mr. Roboto.
House Screw
Yeah.
Thousand.
I think we've had a Mr. Roboto. Haven't we had something like that?
Have we had a Mr. Roboto?
Robot De
I don't
Niro.
remember.
I like Robot De Niro.
Yeah,
Okay,
robot.
fine. Robot De Niro. Robot.
I think
The
we've had a
DI?
Mr. Roboto. Robo Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robot De Niro is good.
Okay.
All right, and
Surprised PC Hammer would have been good.
That's a good one. That is really good.
I already wrote down Robot De Niro. It's like
You gotta get in.
like a meter maid writing down a ticket. Like I started already. I'm gonna move the
Sorry.
car. I started writing. I can't.
It's already
Them's
been
Can't
the
erase
rules.
this. All right, on to our third and final ad. Learn coming at you.
Speaking of can't erase this. Public sex, man for female, 52 years old, Toronto. Something I've seen from a movie caught my interest, and I'm sure it's going to catch yours. I saw a scene in a movie about a couple having spur-of-the-moment, unfiltered sex at a laundromat, and it's all I think about. I can't wait to get you naked, lay you down on some random clothes that have yet to be folded, and have my way with you. We will use wax and oil, too. I don't like using protection, so you're just going to have to deal with that. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. Trust me, I'm clean. Please write launder me in the subject line. I'll only respond to messages that send a fully nude photo. And please bring some clothes to use in case we don't find any at the laundromat. P.S. Please remove nail polish before sending a picture and be in your 20s. Old bitches need not apply. Sorry, that's just the way I feel. Get over it. No prostitutes either. I've got no money to pay you, and I'm looking to remain STD free. I can tell if you're lying.
All right.
How can you tell?
Oh, Oh, you can tell.
Trust me, I'm
he's
clean,
good.
and I can tell.
I was like, will we use wax and oil too at a laundromat?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
seems-
foreign substance.
Yeah, like what?
That's something that you do at home. You have to set things up.
Oh man.
I think this one is pretty common. The other ones freak me out a little bit, but being into this because it's people's undergarments are all around. It's
Right.
a very intimate thing that you're doing around people.
Yeah.
I think this is really, really common.
Well, yeah, and people like talk about like getting hammered on a dryer when it's on, like adds to the friction.
But this is like, I want to have sex on random clothes that have yet to be folded.
And they're not our clothes.
and
Bring some backups.
let's say I put my laundry in the machine and it's laying out there and I come in and you're having sex with somebody using oils. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's stains are not going to come out.
Also,
Like they're doing it on top of your stuff, fine, but hey man, are those oils?
Yeah, you've
I need,
soiled my laundry.
I need a stain stick. Come on, guys.
People were mentioning that they're going to wrinkle all the clothes. So Henry Wrinkler is a
Henry Wrinkler.
Henry
Pretty good.
Wrinkler is
Really
pretty good.
But I think the obvious one that has been said many times that it has to be is laundromat. It's laundromat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Oh.
Yeah.
laundry mat.
Laundry mat. Yeah, that's
Okay.
got to be.
Let's
That is
do
very
it.
good. I like the remove nail polish.
Now listen, we don't have to do this, and we never go back. We never go back, and I mean we rarely
Change
go
your
back.
name.
Yeah, but Michael Bolton for the
Yeah,
robot
that was
guy
really
was
good.
pretty good.
Should we do an official name change?
It's up to you, Robot De Niro or Michael
I got to clear
Bolton.
with the committee.
Yeah, you confer. You let me
Official,
know.
official name change?
I think so.
Michael Bolton.
Let's do
Michael
it.
Bolton.
That's
Wow.
pretty good.
That's a big
He
deal.
needs
Very
a
rare.
good some good news.
Michael
Bolton. Oh yeah, he just had some health issues.
Yeah.
Bolton.
He'll be stoked to have this.
All right, well, there are your three freaks. So you got freak number one, George W. Shush.
George W. Shush is this guy's living above a bar. Apparently he works at the bar. But no, is he living there because he's paying rent like he should? No, this guy is squatting, and he wants you to come there and be extremely quiet, listen to the TV on mute, and stomp on his balls while you're there.
Once a quarter.
Once a quarter. Yeah, and I think it's going to cost you $200 a month.
$250 a month, man. What a
Good
deal.
deal.
All right, then you got Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton is he just wants some robot love, baby. He's been into some cosplay. His favorite characters are C-3PO and RoboCop, and he gets turned on when he goes to conventions. So why don't you come over here and look like you're made of metal and gear and do all sorts of stuff. He's not going to scream or cry because he has no feelings.
Yep, and then Laundry Matt was the last ad. All right, so Tim,
Yeah.
I want your opinion. You got to vote for one of these freaks. Which freak of the three should move on to the next round of the Freak of the Year playoffs?
George W. Shush
Is there a reason?
is the most disturbing for me for sure. The laundry thing, again, I get, and I think that's a real thing. I also points for the nail polish thing.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a very real.
Strange. I think it's quite strange that he doesn't want nail polish
A
on.
lot of guys have that. They're anti
Polish.
nail polish.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like very, very
didn't
important
know.
for some reason.
Okay, so I'm going to put you down for George W. Shush.
No doubt, George W. Shush. The other guy is like, that's just standard role playing and
Yeah.
some creative writing going on in
Cosplay.
there. Yeah, and I respect the C-3PO thing, and honestly, I get it a little.
Hey, I'm a fan too. Learn.
I'm George W. Shush as well. To just piggyback on Tim's points, I mean, it's just there's so much going on here, and the stomping of the balls, it'll always get me.
And now for the stomping of the balls.
Yeah.
It's every 3 months.
Yep.
So you got that circle on the count. Oh, you know what day? You know what day it is?
You know what day it is?
Time for the quarterly stomping of the balls.
Get over here, George.
Got to do it quietly though.
Moon.
You know what's funny is I think I was going Michael Bolton until you guys started mentioning the things, and you actually sold me. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah,
I
George
was
W. Shush.
I was that way too, and yeah,
Dan?
I don't know.
The quiet stomping, he's concerned about her being quiet while stomping, not what he's going to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? The person stomping you wouldn't think would be an issue. It'd be the person being stomped on. Like, he's completely
Maybe
got it
why
under
it's
control.
once a quarter because he picks a day that nobody's at the bar.
Oh, that makes sense.
That you wouldn't like. Maybe we're closed, and then we'll do the ball
Is
stomping.
anybody like trying to visualize? Typically, I try not to. I shut off the visualizer of the brain during this segment, but right now I'm just like, I've.
Are you
Do you have
laying on
like
the
an
floor?
apartment? Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a storage closet or something. Like, listen, we shot a
Wood
video.
floors, right?
Yeah, we shot a video one time above the creepy crawl, and guys, it was a
Yes.
trash house. It was just like storage for the creepy crawl. If you can imagine what that looked like.
And things.
And that's what
were
I'm
busted
picturing
and broken
here.
everywhere.
Tim, have you
Old
stayed?
couches.
I know at some comedy clubs they have places for the comics to stay.
Comedy condos, yeah.
Comedy condos.
Yeah.
Sometimes above the comedy,
Yeah. Or kind of in the middle, like they rarely have windows. It's crazy. Balls are getting stomped on way more than once
way
a
more
quarter.
than
It's at least bi-weekly over there.
way more than we know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, it's up to you guys. George W. Shush. It's Michael Bolton. It's Laundry Matt. Make your selection on our Twitter page at RIZZ Show. We'll have the winner tomorrow morning when we sign on. So he's moving on to the Freak of the Year playoffs.
Somebody's off to a big lead already.
Really? Right.
Wowie.
So, Tim, what else? So we got Funny Bone this weekend.
Funny Bone this weekend. That's what matters. StLouisFunnyBone.com. There's special guests. I end with music now, which is a new thing that I've been doing. Yeah, I get to play keys and Ludo, and I bought a guitar. And Rizz, you inspired me, and now I play guitar at this thing. And
Sweet.
Wrote some fun songs, and that's fun. And then different special guests throughout the week will be doing guest spots. And yeah, it's such a cool place. It's where I started. The first time I ever got on stage to do comedy was at the Westport Funny Bone. So yeah, it's a big deal for me. I'm excited.
All right, so it's tonight.
It's tonight.
It's tomorrow.
2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday, Monday, a holiday for a lot of people. So Sunday night's a fun night to come.
Yeah,
$20
let
tickets
your
that
freak
night.
flag
Great.
fly.
Yeah, it's great.
Once a quarter.
Unless you're us. Oh, you guys are taking off on Monday, right?
We are, yeah.
Good for
Are you guys in here on Monday?
Yeah, we're here on Monday.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
Dedication, man.
No,
Well, we're also
really
taking
about
the
the
well,
dedication.
listen, we're also taking the next
that's why
day
you're on
after
top.
Rizz Show night off.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Like Rizz Show night at the Blues game, we're taking the
That's
next day
true.
off.
Yes.
That works out.
So that's our floating holiday because we are getting hammered.
When's that? When's Rizz Show at the Blue Note? At the Blues
The
game?
Blues game, the 30th.
Great. What a fun night.
Yeah.
All right, the Tuesday, the 30th, and then we're getting hammered, and we're going to take off the next day.
Great.
Just so you guys know.
Yeah, it's
getting
worth it then,
Zamboni'd.
trading that holiday.
Well, good luck with everything.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Tell everybody down the hallway we said hi.
Great to see you all. Yeah. And
great-
I'll be keeping an eye on the who wins here, too. Freaking week.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Oh, yeah,
We'll let you know. The great Tim Convey, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Crab on Celebrities next. It is 7:40. It's Thursday. Traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic is brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. The biggest race of 2024 is Sunday, June 2nd. Time to lock in your NASCAR Cup Series tickets now at www.raceway.com. We got a lane blocked due to a stalled vehicle 170 southbound just before Missouri D. We also have delays 270 eastbound between 44 and Manchester.
Well, somebody brings up a good point. They don't think George W. Shush is a squatter. They think he's a kidnapper.
Oh. Taking
boy.
a dark turn.
Took a dark turn.
Well,
I'm still voting for him. Not changing my vote.
yeah, that changes nothing.
That changes nothing.
Your point forecast today, dry until tonight. High of 47. Right now it is 33 at the Point Studio.
All right, Lern, what do you got for us?
Paramore makes total sense. The best War Pigs cover is going to surprise all of us. I was right about sports talk. Carlin is back from the dead, sort of, and no list today because honestly, there's so much ridiculous stuff going on in entertainment news that we got to marinate on all of this. So we'll just trash everything.
All right, trashing everything next. Crabby birthdays, porno birthday, all that and more. Crab on Celebrities after the break. Stay there.
Oh, hey, just sitting here checking out all my awards. You know, there are many ways to reach us in the Point Studio. You could call us, you could social media us, I think you could even fax us. But there's a new way. It's called Mic Drop. Yes, download the Point app, click the Mic Drop feature, talk into your phone, and your message goes right to us. Look, I just got one from Jeff Burton.
Hey, Rizz, great show today. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, I f***ing read this stupid f***ing thing that head told me to read.
That's right, the new Mic Drop feature. Download the Point app.
Is this thing f***ing recording still?
All right, King Scott's official bucket list. Now, for those of you that haven't been listening, we have compiled a list. We've talked about it several times, and we have a
I'm sure I'm not alone. I've been tempted. You know, I look at the price of my house now and how much it's worth and realize that I could cash in because the housing market is still crazy right now. And it's very tempting, but do I really want to give up the super low rate I got? I mean, I got the refinance a few years ago, and I have an incredible rate, and I don't want to pay 7 or 8% on a new house. However, something's awesome. And if you're in that same situation, you don't have to. You can do this with the Get Paid and Stay program from Truehold. This is ingenious. With the Get Paid and Stay program with Truehold, they will buy your home now for its best current value, and you bank the cash and stay in your home until interest rates come back down, or as long as you like. It's your call. And plus, you won't have to pay property taxes, insurance, or upkeep anymore, and you get to stay in that amazing home. And Truehold, they pay those expenses. So you can learn all about this. You just reach out to Truehold, and the Get Paid and Stay program, you can stay in that home you love, keep the gardens you've had, and make the money you need. So call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, 5, 6, 7.
Ready to roll? We are backstage at Point Fest. Ladies and gentlemen, Brent and Barry from Shinedown. What's up, gentlemen?
Well,
How are
hello.
you?
What's going on? How are you?
It's great to see you. It's great to see you.
Good to
First
see
of
you.
all,
Thanks for being cool with us because I was super, super late. I was very, very late. Some
no.
things in rock and roll haven't changed.
No,
the
no.
singers are usually late.
now listen, if we're going to do it, you are 18 minutes behind. I don't think that that's even late as far as rock stars go. I think that's just about flat.
All right, we'll take
don't-
that.
We can take that.
Yeah.
I don't know if do we look at ourselves as, you know, the RS, the rock star type?
You don't have to. I appreciate that you don't, but I do, and I can.
I
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
it. The reason I am late though is because I needed to take a shower because, quite frankly, I smelled like a farm animal. So I wanted to make sure
Right.
that we were good today.
So see, the 18 minutes late is completely acceptable, and I do appreciate it.
Also, you should, because I had to be next to him. It was not good.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on the record.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's absolutely fantastic. The song Devil has been doing amazing things for the radio station. People loved it as soon as we put it on the air. You know, there is something so great, and it just has that sort of anthemic quality about it. Where did that song fall in the recording of this particular record? Was that one of your first ones that came about?
It came about probably right in the middle. There were a lot of things about and are, you know, in regards to Attention, the new album. We did things a little differently this time. We've had the pleasure of working with a lot of producers, a lot of great engineers, you know, male and female. But it was time for us to do it in-house. So our bass player, Eric Bass, who is quite frankly, way more than a bass player. He produced Attention. He also mixed it. And so the dynamic of everything, too, is that it is a conceptual piece of work, but not in the traditional sense. We call it a story album because everything takes place inside of a room on the record. The goal is to put the audience and the listener into this room to take this journey. And Devil is basically the beginning of this journey because we don't look at it as like the story starts off at rock bottom, but the fact is this individual that is inside the story has come to a place in their life where if they don't confront what's inside of them that could potentially sabotage them, their family, and quite frankly, you know, their actual life in general, they're gonna have to face these demons basically. So Devil starts the beginning of the story of Attention, but the actual song was probably written about middle of the way in the recording process, or the writing process, I should say.
And there's a lot going on here because you recorded at Eric's studio, which was not a commercial studio that normally does this kind of thing, correct?
It is a commercial studio for him. He's done a lot of stuff there. In
Okay.
fact, when we met Eric 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when we were doing Sound of Madness, we were writing for Sound of Madness, and we actually went to his studio to write. We didn't know him. He was just a producer at that studio, and we wrote at that studio. And then, things happened and changed, and we said, what about that guy? Because he's extremely smart and a great producer. He was a producer first, came into us as the bass player.
Sure.
So, but he's done other records out of there, and other records have been done out of there even when he's not home. But it's not one of the, it's his place. So he has ownership of it. He built it. And this was actually the last record done there. He's moving the studio, so this was it. This was the, it's bittersweet, but it was a great time.
Well, I watched that documentary, and finding out that he's a big Ben Folds fan, I am borderline stalker-like when it comes to that man. So
Really?
well, not really, but
That's
just
okay.
a big
Ben Folds
fan.
is great.
Yeah. So that part was very interesting. I wonder about the dynamic while you guys are recording. Now, I have interviewed you guys numerous times over the years. I don't know you though as people, but I would bet you that while you're making a record, it can get intense.
Sure.
Do you guys fight? Do you guys argue? Do you guys? Because I would think everybody's passionate. Passion levels are on high when you're doing this project that you put so much into. Do you guys communicate that way? Do you get after each other?
Weather, it's going to be cold. Going to be real cold. Now, how is the heating system in your house? How's everything going with that? Do you have a two-story home and the second floor is not getting the heat? Not getting as hot as the first floor? So if your entire second floor is not getting that proper airflow, you got to call Hoppin Brothers, your American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning dealer. They'll come out, they'll take a look to see what solutions are available and help better distribute that heat to your second floor. Listen, have you even done maintenance on your heating system yet? There are many safety issues that could arise, including carbon monoxide, gas leaks by not properly getting your system maintained each year. Schedule your maintenance today to make sure you are safely heating your home. And when was the last time you changed your furnace filter? Probably time to do that. Here is your friendly reminder from your buddy Rizz and Hoffman Brothers. Hoffman Brothers, give them a call or hit them up online, hoffmanbros.com, HOFFMANN bros.com, hoffmanbros.com.
Bum, bum, bum. Hi from the outside. I mustard called 1,000 times.
Kerber in just a little bit. Blues are playing the Rangers tonight over at Enterprise Center.
Whose kid was that just now? Who said happy birthday, Rizz?
I didn't hear it, but
Random child.
I didn't hear it, but it's probably one of mine.
Oh,
No,
so
it was-
cute.
It was a Mooners, I think.
It was me.
It was
Yeah.
you.
It was me just 3 years ago.
Sorry, I just want to know. I don't know who some of the liners
listen,
are.
we sent Scott out. We said, find us a random child.
Find us Rizz Show children.
Find us a random child. Also, later on in the show, I will be making a statement regarding the Rizz Show Fastlane Pickup Challenge.
Okay. I look forward to that.
Yeah, well, something's got to be done. So.
And it's not what you think.
No. Today is January the 11th. Back in the day, 116 years ago, 1908, President Theodore Roosevelt declared that the Grand Canyon is a national monument to preserve its natural beauty, which I've never been to the Grand Canyon. That's a bucket list
For me, too.
place to go.
It's very cool. It's a very grand canyon.
Giant hole.
Do your research going in. You know.
As far as like where to go, where to stay.
Mhm. Yeah, like what you're into. If you want to hike, make sure you're finding the spots. Hike. You want to keep away from tourists, make sure you're finding the spots. I mean, there's something for everybody.
And if you don't want to almost fall off the canyon and break your ankle, then don't get pictures of my aunt.
It is incredible.
She did that?
though.
Yeah, she almost
Killed herself there?
Yeah, well, it wasn't her fault. It was her friend that they were getting pictures, and then her friend slipped and
Our friend Jack
grabbed
Daniels.
her, and she
Yeah, I
fell
got it.
down. She fell down on the next thing. Yeah.
This is a good trivia question. 60 years ago today, 1964, Billboard publishes its first country and western albums chart. What was the #1 album ever? What was the first ever number one?
Was it Willie Nelson?
This would have been
1964.
Patsy Cline?
Nope.
I'm going to say the first number one album.
Hank Williams?
Yeah, I mean, you're getting there. You're going to get there eventually.
George Jones.
Waylon Jennings?
It is. That's right. Johnny Cash.
Oh.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash gets the first number one with Ring of Fire. 51 years ago today, 1973, baseball died, some people would say. Owners of the American League teams voted to adopt the designated hitter rule on a trial basis. As you know, that trial is still going on. 32 years ago, 1992, Nirvana's Nevermind hits number one in America, unseating who? This was such a huge deal.
Madonna?
Unseating Michael Jackson's Dangerous.
Oh, wow.
Whoa-y.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. 29 years ago, 1995, the WB network launches. 25 years ago, 1999, Jon Stewart takes over as host of The Daily Show.
He was the best.
24 years ago, in the year 2000, Gary Glitter. Do we know who Gary Glitter is?
Child molester.
Yes. But do we know why? Do we know why?
It was a song. Here's what I remember. It was a song that we have been listening to forever, and we thought we've listened to it forever, and then that stuff came out, and I haven't heard it since. Right? Am I?
But do you know the song?
I'm sure I do once you play it. I just can't. I haven't heard it in a minute.
Now you say that.
Canceled. Whatever. The song has been canceled. It doesn't get played anymore. It just doesn't.
I don't think I've heard it.
But the countless amount of artists that have huge names for themselves with 50 hits that you don't want to let go. We don't like the guy, but we're still going to listen to the music.
So in the year 2000, Gary Glitter was released from prison in Britain after serving half a 4-month sentence on child porn charges. In February of 2015, he was sentenced to 16 years in prison for having sex with a 12-year-old fan, attempting to rape an 8-year-old, and indecent assault.
God.
He was incarcerated in on the Isle of Wight in
Isle of Wight.
I'm sorry, Isle of Wight in Newport. Last February, he was released after serving half a sentence, but he was put back in prison a month later for viewing downloaded images of children. He'll be in court later this month. At this point, just put the guy down.
Yeah.
Like, just put him down.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean,
Hey!
Bye.
Stop touching kids, Gary. Jeez.
Ah, man.
Isn't that amazing though, with the double standard? And I'm not saying we shouldn't cancel the song. Because I'm assuming the estate, his estate, or he's
still making money off it,
right? So you don't want to reward someone,
or if he owes
like
money
that for
to
anything.
victims, it's going. Yeah, listen about this. I mean, you could put it this way: like if he owes victims money.
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing if it was that easy? You just take the estate away from, give them to the victims, and then everybody goes, "Hey, let's play the living heck out of this. Forget this guy's name and pay the victims."
And the victims make money off it.
That's not a bad idea.
We should still kill him, though.
Whoa!
Just put him. Just put him away. Every
The guy's a
chomo,
monster.
Get him away.
I'm just not going
Forever.
to
Put him on the Isle of
Like-
Man.
And 19 years ago, in 2005, the iPod Shuffle was released.
Had one. The little guy. It was like itty bitty. You could wear it on a watch.
Was the Shuffle the?
that was the tiny
little
one.
cube.
Was it the cube or was it
Yeah,
like
no,
the
no screen.
No screen.
I know it was no screen, but was it the rectangle?
Yeah, it was like a little clip.
Mine was square, and it had like just a play, pause, back, forward.
And it was a clip, right?
Yeah,
you could clip it on your sleeve or
little paper clip.
whatever.
You could hold like maybe 500 songs or
500 songs. God, how
That was
cool!
so cool.
How cool!
Lime green.
Yep.
How
Oh, you had
cool
the
was
green
that?
one? Cool.
That was really
Man,
cool, guys.
that's awesome.
All right, that's what happened
Very
back in the
cool.
day. All right, time to. The guy had sex with an 8-year-old.
I know. Bye.
Come on, bye.
Awful.
Bye.
The worst.
All right, time to find out what's going on in the world of music and entertainment with your crap on celebrities.
And it's brought to you by Bright House Plumbing. Call the best. Flush the rest. BrightHouseCo.com. 636-600-0188. Call them. I saw this yesterday, and every one of my friends shared it, and I'm so excited. Paramore has returned to Instagram since wiping all of their accounts clean.
Well, thank God.
And they're back, and they shared this Talking Heads tribute teaser. And this is actually really exciting. Rizz, play some of the audio from this.
So this is Paramore and their Talking Heads tribute album contribution.
Yes.
Here we go.
I got a tape I'd like to play you.
That's Haley Williams.
And that's what you get.
This is going to be so good. This is a tribute to the Talking Heads that is going to commemorate Stop Making Sense, their influential 1984 concert album. Paramore say they are the first act to be singing Burning Down the House on track 1. There's going to be 15 other tracks on this tribute. No word of who the other artists or when the album is going to be released, but A24 is behind this. This is going to be cool as hell.
Oh, A24?
I feel like if I got into the Talking Heads, like if I really listened to them, I think I would really like them.
You would, yeah.
Well, that song.
Like I know the hits.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that
like I know
one's
the
awesome.
Talking Heads hits, which I do enjoy.
Did you ever watch Stop Making Sense?
No.
You got to see it. Because I wasn't necessarily a Talking Heads fan either. And then Tim and I kind of went down like a David Byrne rabbit hole like last year. And we watched that and he's been out in the news lately. He was on like CBS Sunday Morning. And he's just such an interesting guy.
Interesting guy.
But that concert doc, his suit just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
The big suit. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm
awesome.
really excited. And Paramore fans are as well.
And she's great at Super Soaker, by the way.
She
Super
is?
Soaker battles, yeah. Hey,
Did you play Super Soaker?
yeah,
with
she
her?
come over and play all the
that's so
time in the tent.
cool.
Yeah, it
This
was
is when
awesome.
Scott was working for the Super Soaker organization.
Oh yes,
But
You're
she would
very
just
good
come
at that.
over.
You
It
were
was wild.
you were a Hasbro.
She's so
I
cool.
was.
Hasbro.
Speaking of Hasbro, Ozzy Osbourne heard T-Pain's cover of War Pigs and tweeted that it is the best cover of the song that he's ever heard, and Ozzy is not wrong. Ozzy shared the video and said, "Why didn't you guys call me?" To which T-Pain responded on Twitter saying, "You are always invited, top of the list every time. Thank you so much. Means a lot coming from the greatness himself." Listen to War Pigs being sung by T-Pain. This is awesome.
Yeah, Lern, I lost it. Damn it.
Email.
No, I know. I'm getting to somebody freaking.
Well, as you find it, we're in the midst of a the version of his cover album, which is called On Top of the Covers last month. So if you like what you're about ready to hear, and maybe you enjoy Sam Smith, he sings Stay With Me or Journey's Don't Stop Believing. He even goes into country, expanding his genres into Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey, and obviously paid homage to the foundation of heavy metal with War Pigs.
Sorry, Lern. I had it pulled up. I just
That's
lost it. He's got a great voice.
It's awesome.
I remember T-Pain is like the
Auto-tune.
godfather of auto-tune.
Right.
Bow.
Here we go.
Bow.
That's awesome.
You're killing it.
I mean, Ozzy loved it. I love it. I got to check out this album. It's out now, again, On Top of the Covers.
Remember, T-Pain won the first ever, what was the costume music show?
Masked
Singer.
Oh, really?
Really?
He was the first winner of it, like on the first season, and everybody was like, holy cow, this guy
dude's got
can
the chops.
really
Yeah.
sing.
Anybody that thought he was a part of that, I Can't Sing, I'm the Autotune King, never heard any of his other records because it had been singing for years and years and years before.
He's got just a great voice.
Selena Gomez is set to portray Linda Ronstadt in an upcoming biopic. The film is going to be in pre-production right now, produced by Linda Ronstadt's manager, as well as the guy who created the Johnny Cash Walk the Line movie. No director or other cast members have been announced yet, but it is reported that Ronstadt and Gomez are both of Mexican descent. Previously, they met to discuss the project.
Well, she was such a hottie back in the day,
Gorgeous.
Linda Ronstadt.
And this is great casting because Selena Gomez kind of has the same face as Linda Ronstadt.
Here's a little
looks
Linda
very
Ronstadt
similar.
for you. You're no good, you're no good. Baby, you're no good. Not good.
So good.
That's so good, that's so good, that's so good.
Machine Gun Kelly is under fire. Moon, I'm interested in your take on this. He has a guitar collaboration. Is it Schecter? Schecter Guitars?
Yeah.
So people
Darn near killed her.
Schecter?
Schecter?
Come on, man.
You just get out. So he teamed up with
Strike
Schecter
one.
Guitars, and people are upset because this is an electric guitar, and it has a razor blade shaped body in metallic silver. people are saying that the guitar is promoting self-harm. And
So what would the reason why Machine Gun Kelly would have a razor blade shaped guitar on sale? Because he's so emo, man.
He is
cuts the
emo.
feel.
And in the emo culture, you know, there's a lot of people who do harm themselves with cutting. So some of these people are upset. It's called the Machine Gun Kelly razor blade. Like, I personally think that this is backlash.
That's part of his
not
brand.
Warranted.
Here's
But,
here's a guitar.
Or maybe he's promoting shaving.
It reminds me of Judas Priest more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Kiss guitar. It's
Yeah.
very, very.
Is it hollow then?
What do you even? I mean, what do you call this? It's like a. I mean, this is very cartoony. It's not like a guitar that, like, oh, that kind of looks like a razor blade. Like, it's a razor blade that kind of looks like a guitar.
It's meant to be a razor blade. I mean, you can tell
Yeah.
it's one of those, like, you know, the ones you put.
Right.
It's not a disposable.
You clean the top of your stove.
And listen, I've never seen the guy with a beard, so maybe he's just
Maybe promoting shaving. That's what
Oh, you're right. Like, yeah, I mean, would I do this? Of course not. But I mean, if that's, I don't know, that's the branding.
That's part of his. That's part of his shtick. that
I
he's-
hate to say, like, if you know what you're buying with him, you know what I mean, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And do I think it's totally fine to possibly promote to even one person something like that? Of course not. But at the same time, this is entertainment, and this dude's been going for cringe and shock for the last couple
Right.
of years.
It's part of his
what
shtick.
else
It's
do
a
you
shtick.
think
It is.
he's going for?
Yeah, I think this is just, the outrage is silly. I don't.
I know he's not making it. Like hasn't said anything about it. He's refusing to comment.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's part of that stupid shtick he's got going on.
Well, unfortunately, the guitar's already been marked down. So since it came out, it was
It's ugly too.
It was $2,169 when it started. Now it's been marked down to $1,500.
It's a very ugly guitar.
Schecter, I know those guys. They make some really, really cool stuff. This is a I can't a novelty guitar. It's a novelty
This
guitar.
is a collector's
It doesn't even look. Because
I wonder how it
comfortable to play.
sounds. How would that sound?
This looks terrible to play, but I'm sure it's good enough. I mean, it's got whatever this bridge humbucker here, and it's a legit Schecter guitar. So I'm sure it's fine and sounds good, and I'm sure he's going to use it for one song, and hope to sell
I
a
love
few.
it has just a volume knob. There's nothing else.
And then
It's
you
pretty
move
rad.
All right. Jennifer Lawrence gave an interview looking back on her wedding day, which was back in October. She got married on Rhode Island, or in Rhode Island. And she says people, were cold. She was freaking out because she didn't want to make her guests feel uncomfortable. Apparently, Robert De Niro was there at the rehearsal dinner. She says, I looked over, I saw Bob, who doesn't know anybody.
Yeah.
He's wandering around, and I went up to him, and I was like, immediately like, you don't want to be here. I don't want him here. So she went over to Robert De Niro and said, hey, go home. And he was really nice about it, she said. He went over, talked to her parents, was polite, but then he immediately left.
Boy, to be Bob De Niro and not know anybody, but everybody knows you.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
And, it's her rehearsal dinner. Like, why was Bob even there? Like, did
I
everybody
guess
go?
they're close.
I guess so.
Were they in Silver Linings Playbook
Yeah.
together? I guess they're close, and
And I think he got into
she's
wedding.
an A-lister.
He got into wedding biz last year too. He's starting to.
Oh, Robert De Niro DJ'd the wedding.
That'd be cool. Point for Scott. Aaron Rodgers will no longer be making weekly appearances on the Pat McAfee show. I called this, you guys. I called this last week. Because first of all, I had no idea that he was on there every Tuesday because I don't care or listen to sports. But I was like, after Pat McAfee essentially threw him under the bus after the interview about Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, it looked a little awkward.
He had him on Tuesday, right? He had him on this Tuesday. Aaron Rodgers did his thing on Tuesday, talked about it. Yesterday, Pat McAfee was like, thank God I don't have to deal with this anymore, basically.
I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN, too, is like, come on, man.
Oh,
yeah.
You're killing me.
This is a huge liability now.
Well, not only that, because ESPN and ABC, Jimmy Kimmel, are owned by Disney.
Disney,
right?
they're all, it's all the same.
So somebody that's everyone's boss said, guys, stop it. You're killing me here.
Well, then for Pat McAfee to actually say, like, hey, dude, I don't want to hear about this anymore. Like, he's not going to be on the show anymore. He's out of my life for the time being.
Yep.
Thank God. We're moving on.
He says there will be a lot of people that will be happy with that, myself included, to be honest,
Right.
end quote. And yeah, just like you guys said, ESPN and ABC all under the Disney brand. We all love George Carlin. I guess just to say, do you guys?
I do.
I love George Carlin.
Absolutely.
One of the best of all time in comedy. Died 15 years ago. And this, I listened to some of this. There's a new AI intelligence generated comedy special that brought back the voice of George Carlin in an hour-long comedy special called I'm Glad I'm Dead, which I think is a perfect title that he would do. And it features an AI spin on Carlin's takes on current events. And so Dudesy is an AI comedy platform from Mad TV alums Will Sasso and podcaster Chad Kutkin. And they said for the next hour, or actually, I have a little bit of the George Carlin audio here.
I'm okay with it as long as his daughter is. I know his daughter, George Carlin's daughter, is really
tight,
the gatekeeper of his legacy. Like, and it takes it really seriously.
Well, it's unclear if the Carlin estate is even okay with this. There's been no word as of writing that there was.
Well, Will Sasso's got some cred too. He ain't no slouch.
Well, check this out. It's kind of interesting.
You're at Starbucks. Would you like your Frappuccino almond milk pumpkin spice latte iced or hot? Oh, and did you see who Taylor Swift is? You're at work. Great sales meeting today, everyone. But before we break, could I just get a real quick show of hands? Who has seen who Taylor Swift is? You're at church. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Yes, my son, but have you seen who Taylor Swift is?
So that would be as if George Carlin was doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's comedy in the style of. Okay, and that's fine. You could say, write me. You go to ChatGPT right now and say, write me a song about clouds in the style of the Beatles.
Well, I remember when Mark Maron came in. And Rafe looked up, give me Mark Maron talking about aliens.
Yeah,
about Florida.
About Florida. And then we printed it and had Mark read it. And he was like, it's eerie how similar.
He was freaked out.
It was. It was Mark Maron.
I saw, here's an update just a couple hours ago. Kelly, Carlin slams AI-generated George Carlin comedy special.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Kelly Carlin. That's her name. And again, she's a big-time gatekeeper of the George Carlin legacy.
Right.
So, not all about it. There you go.
Know. Cat Williams kicked off 2024 doing an explosive interview with Shannon Sharpe on the podcast Club Shay Shay. Took shots of everyone. We were talking about this earlier in the week, but today in the news, the shots he took at Kevin Hart and other comedians. The most recent update with this is Cat Williams is on tour with Kevin Hart's ex-wife Torre, and so Torre has been posting on Instagram like on tour with Cat Williams, but Kevin says that he's unbothered by the fact that his ex-wife is on tour with him and sends them both well wishes on the new endeavor. Paparazzi photographer caught up with Kevin Hart about the news, and he says he has no hate in his heart about it, wants everybody to have a passion for comedy, to win in their careers, and doesn't have time for any hate at this moment.
Dude, and I listened to a lot of the Shannon Sharpe, Cat Williams interview.
Yeah.
Dude, Cat Williams goes, I mean, you want to go scorched earth? This is burning everything down.
Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer.
He said, Cedric the Entertainer basically stole all his jokes.
Was Shannon Sharpe just sitting there just going, oh my gosh, I'm sitting in a gold mine.
Yeah, people actually have eyes on my podcast now.
Ludacris, Chris Tucker, Diddy, Tyler Perry, everybody.
Everybody,
gold
dude.
Mine, man.
Wild.
And several people have fired back on what Cat Williams is saying. I mean, is that... know a lot about Cat Williams. Is that just how he is? Like he just has no.
Yes, I'm a fan. I love Cat Williams.
Yeah.
I think he's hilarious
because he's a wild card, right?
Because he's a wild card.
Yeah, and he's also very, very funny. He's just a funny man.
And very funny.
And he's super talented. He seems very smart.
Every once in a while he gets himself into trouble.
He's a wild man. He is
he
wild.
Does seem very quick.
Cat Williams said that the Illuminati had a meeting, and that decided whether or not he or Ludacris would get the role in the Fast and the Furious movies. Like, that's where
he just says wild things. I love it. Like,
yeah,
he's one of those.
It's so neato, man.
I love that you never know what you're going to get with this guy. You go, oh, my God, Cat Williams is on something. I'm going to watch because you never know.
Yeah.
Would you be excited if he threw the Rizzuto Show and somewhere in there?
Oh,
just
yeah.
in his speech?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome.
The Illuminati powers the Rizzuto Show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's get that going.
Hey,
that's true.
Back to the Carlin AI thing just for a second. Like, one of the reasons is that's not okay. Like, AI is so good, and if you worked on with ChatGPT or any of these things, it's so good at like coming up with like an amalgam of a bunch of stuff and just giving you a guess or like a I don't know, just a ball of twine of whatever you asked it to scrape, and that in itself is great for a ton of writers or comedians or musicians or whoever it is that you're writing. So you can come up with something that's kind of built on some genius from before, right? But Carlin was one of the few voices, and this is why these kind of guys and gals like Ray, rise up to the top of iconic status where they outlive their lifetime, because he was so unique and he had such a sharp mind and he was always a step or two ahead of us.
Yeah.
And AI will never be able to recreate that. So you're bastardizing the entire thing if you try to pass it off as something
that's my
like that.
problem is if you try to pass it off as this would have been George Carlin, you have no idea.
No, the whole thing that made George Carlin is that you couldn't guess what he was after next.
And if you, I heard a clip of this yesterday, and there's one where he was talking about how AI is going to take over the comedy world, this and that, this whatever generator thing. And then it had and here's proof of an AI writing a joke. And it was about a fart. Somehow, I don't know, it was this fart joke. And I don't know, it doesn't seem like he would ever go that route the way it went. It was it doesn't feel like him at all.
He was prolific in how advanced he was in his
That's what I mean.
He made you think. He was a guy that wanted you. He's a philosopher.
The guys and the gals that race to the top are the ones that are just a few steps ahead of us. And AI can't do that if it's just taking guesses on
and just ripping off former thoughts.
The whole passing it off as this is George Carlin. That's
impossible.
That's the BS part.
This is awful, you guys. So earlier in the week, we talked about how Caddyshack star Cindy Morgan had passed away at the age of 69. Well, we now kind of have more details about how she was found. Apparently, her roommate said that she smelled a bad stench that led to the discovery of her body. The roommate was out of town. They shared a Lake Worth Beach home in Florida, and claimed she'd not seen or heard from Morgan in the last, few days leading up to that gruesome discovery. A representative for Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office claimed to Fox News on Saturday that the actress died of natural causes a few days before her body was found. Awful. The average cost of buying an ad during the Super Bowl is reportedly around $7 million. Last year, that was kind of the average cost. And this year, there's some iconic fast food brands and coming for their first championship game ads. So you're going to see things from Popeyes, Starry, Nerds, and Drumstick. So they're getting on board with buying ads.
First-time ads, huh?
For the first-time ads.
Drumstick sounds
And that is your crap on celebrities, guys.
Thank you, Lern.
Thank you.
Celebrities celebrating a birthday today. Cody Simpson, the Australian singer and huge Instagram and YouTube guy. He's 27. Lindsay Arnold from Dancing with the Stars Pro. She won the 25th season. She's 30. Rockmond Dunbar. He's in Prison Break, The Mentalist, and Sons of Anarchy. That's Eli from Sons of Anarchy. Rockmond Dunbar has a cool name and is 51.
Name.
Amanda Peet is 52. Mary J. Blige is 53. Tom Rowlands, one of the Chemical Brothers, is 53. Tom Dumont.
From No Doubt.
That's right. No Doubt's guitar player is 56. And Sean Connery's son, Jason Connery, is 61 years old. He is married to Sloane from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, Mia.
Used to be. They divorced in 2002.
What's her name? Mia Sarah.
Mia Sarah. Well done.
Today's porno birthday, which is being brought to you by Patricia's, where fun and fantasy meet, is Kim Chambers. And today's birthday girl has been in 269 fine films, including Ass Crunchers 4, Babes Illustrated 1, Battle of the Glands, and a movie called Blue Balls.
Oh.
Booty by Nature, Butts of Steel, Double Airbags 3, Intercourse with a Vampire 1 and 2, and a movie called Whoop, There She Is.
Hey.
And who could forget her role in 2001's Sizzling Buns? Kim Chambers is 51 years old. That's your porno birthday. Those are your crappy birthdays, and that was your crap on celebrities. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll talk to Chris Kerber after the break. It is 8:17. It is Thursday. Traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic is brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. The biggest race of 2024 is Sunday, June 2nd. It's time to lock in your tickets now at www.raceway.com. We have delays 270 eastbound between Tesson Ferry and Big Bend. Average speed down to about 20 miles an hour. Your point forecast dry until tonight. High of 47. Right now it's 33 at the Point Studio.
Backstage at Point Fest, our first interview of the day is a gentleman that the first time that we met was in the restroom.
And we wasn't doing drugs.
No, not at all. Jelly Roll,
you got to clear that up in this area. Somebody be like, I wonder what they were doing in the bathroom together.
They're just going to assume that for sure. Even if we say we didn't, they're going to assume that anyway.
Well, I'll tell the story that I was stoned and waiting on a commode that was open. Right. I didn't realize the door was closed, and I thought somebody was there, so I sat there for like 15 minutes with my butt puckered, waiting to use the bathroom just to find out nobody was in there.
While I'm going, you're directed traffic in and out of the bathroom.
I'm telling people, I'm like, oh, you're good that way. That one's open. That one's clogged. Somebody's in that one. I'm waiting too. And it was, that was my morning.
A new year, so how about making a change? You don't want to be miserable in 2024. In fact, you could change careers and have a new job within 4 months. That's right. You know, Centric is an accelerated training program that prepares you for a new IT career in as little as 4 months. Not 4 years, 4 months. Hands-on training, certified instructors, real-world situations, and Centric trains people from all backgrounds with little to no IT experience. Cybersecurity is one of the most in-demand technology jobs today. 1,500 companies have hired Centric grads. Learn about the cloud and hacking and password cracking and network sniffing and digital forensics and many more technologies. Centric's cutting-edge curriculum is always updated to make sure you're trained on all of today's technologies. You'll learn to work with the technologies you'll use on your first day on the job. New programs are starting all the time, and no excuses, guys. Centric now has a flex option designed to get you into a cybersecurity career on your schedule and at a pace you set. Centric.com/Rizz, CENTRIQ.com/Rizz.
All right, guys, welcome back to the farm. So it's a Sunday, and we got a whole crew here doing stuff. We're going to work in the field today. So this will be the final episode of the farm series for now, but I'm sure we'll return back to the farm at some point. So I'm going to show you what's going on here, the progress of the plants, how those elderberries are looking, and we'll look inside the house, and I'll tell you about some future projects we got coming up here. And there's our tractor, courtesy of Herb Equipment, the Captain Rizz tractor. We're moving some poles. Poles. All right, so behind me is another barn. This is a future project that we're going to do. So we're going to turn this barn into a greenhouse. So come on, let me show you what's going on inside. So this is where the old owner, I guess, stored some of his tractors, some of his big carts for the field. So eventually, what we're going to do is we're going to take the sides off and kind of renovate this structure and make it a greenhouse so we could start cultivating our own elderberry brands and maybe start selling what they call the cuttings. Right now, this is home to many a groundhog. All right, we're out here in the big field, and I am going to show you the progress of some of these elderberry plants. So you saw at the beginning, pretty much nothing. And it's a couple months later, and I'll show you what these elderberry plants look like. Look at that. Mulch is down. Plants are looking good. You know, you'll see a weed every once in a while, but we got to pull those. But these plants are looking sweet. There's my partner in crime, Cat the dog. Hi, Cat. Let's go. Cat is the consummate farm dog. And there's new dog. Come on, Maggie, Cat, let's go. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get a very good crop this year, but this is basically laying the foundation down for years to come. First year being a farmer. So it's been almost 2 straight months of mulching. We're not even all the way done. See some of these rows? They still need to be done. Still need to be mulched. We've been taking down fences, trying to clear stuff out. So there's a whole nother area that we haven't even touched yet. All stuff beyond that fence right there. Basically untouched, but I guess we'll talk about that next time. We're talking about future projects. Check this out behind me. There's the house the old man used to live in. So we're not sure what we're going to do with it yet. It's got no running water, no plumbing. Pretty much uninhabitable. Still a cool building, been here a long time. So we got to figure out what to do with it. Here's one thing we're going to keep. Just a random, in the middle of nowhere, dinner bell. So there's one more building I want to show you guys. This is behind me, the calf birthing barn. So let's go. We're going to open it up and hopefully not get stung by a wasp. So it's a little dark in here, so hopefully you guys can see what's going on, but take a look inside there. So there's stalls on the left and right, and the calves would be born in here. And if you could see on the trusses over here, a lot of wasp nests. So I don't know if I want to go in there, but of course you got to keep your equipment clean, so I got to give the old John Deere tractor a shower. All right, so that's it. You've seen most of the farm. There's a lot of work still to do, and there's still a lot more to show you guys, but maybe the next series of videos. Big thanks to Herb Equipment. Big thanks to Colonel Landscaping, and we'll see you guys next time on the farm. Thank you.
Of Pain on 105.7 The Point. You are live with Liv, and I am backstage at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater with Breaking Benjamin, getting all of our swears out so we don't do that on the air right now. Gentlemen, how are we?
We're good. Great. It's good to be here.
Good. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. And I'm going to start off by saying something I said to Brent Smith a couple days ago of Shinedown. I'm a fan before, being a DJ and having a cool
Put good people at the best rate possible. He works with over 50 different lenders to get you the very best financing. If you're financing a car, there's one thing to know. Choose the Auto Loan Pro. Go to autoloanpro.com, autoloanpro.com, and actually you can download the playbook to success. autoloanpro.com. Back to the program. Let's talk to Chris Kerr. Hilarious. Looks hilarious. Now, it's a small independent movie. It's not like a big production.
That's cool.
But it stars Brett Hull.
And I'm told these guys are like he's just himself in this.
Yeah.
So
he plays Brett Hull.
It could be gold.
Yeah. Oh, it could be. It's gonna be gold.
I expect nothing less than
great news.
Just him. He needs to be himself.
Oh, I think it's gonna be Brett Hull at his Brett Hulliest.
I think he's peeing on a wall right now.
We're gonna hole out.
You know what? Years ago, I got I was doing a radio show. It's like a season preview show, and I was asked by someone higher up in team management. They said, "Well, we really should look at doing a show with Brett Hull." And I go, "You really want to do that?" And I mean, I think it would be fantastic, but they're like, I think you should use him. I said, okay. I said, but it's Brett, right? I mean, Brett's going to say whatever's on his mind. So I did this radio show, about an hour-long season preview show, and I got Brett on it. And I said, all right, well, what do you think about the upcoming season, Brett? And he says, you know what? We got a good team. We'll be good. So long as our coaching staff doesn't kill our guys during the course of the year by overplaying them when you don't need to, like he did last year, we'd be fine. Well, I get a text by the end of that show. Same group same manager that asked me to put him on, pulled me in, just give me what were you doing? What was he thinking? How could he say that? I go, guys, it's Brett Hull. Like he's going to say whatever on his mind. Yeah. And there's something that I think all of us wish we could do that and not care. Yeah. And then there's another time you're like, geez, every now and then reeling it in wouldn't be bad, but it really is. And I love him for it. So it was fantastic.
Jamie Rivers yesterday on the Fast Lane told the story. So I guess Susie Matthew will be honored with the first ever True Blue Award.
Yeah, that's actually really
St. Louis
that
Blues
is
Hall of
awesome,
Fame.
to be honest with you. Yeah.
So Jamie, told the story about how Susie was basically in charge of Brett Hall when he played for the Blues. Like she was the person to make sure that he got to all his events. Just kept him, in line. Basically, and I can't imagine anybody who has that job deserves to be in any kind of Hall of Fame.
Well, there is that. But listen, and it was more than that. It was a great relationship that those two had. She handled a lot, but how PR was handled and how things were done then is different, a little different in some respects than it is today. But on a slightly more serious note, and this is why I think we're getting that True Blue Award. As we're about to have the second class of the St. Louis Blues Hall of Fame this next Friday, a week from tomorrow. Actually, is where we'll have the ceremonies at the MAC. And how about this? Channel 4 on their digital sub, Channel 4.2, and then on Spectrum 182, I think it is, are carrying this live.
Oh, wow.
So free TV, basically, and people can watch the ceremonies if you're not at the MAC. But Susie Matthew was the first female PR director in pro sports. And it was with the St. Louis Blues. She started with the Solomon family and the Blues in 1975. She worked for the St. Louis Blues for 20 years. I think left in 1995. So I mean, it's really not a small thing when you think of just the progress and where we are and how things can come. But pretty cool that she was the first ever, the first female PR director in pro sports, and it was right here with the St. Louis Blues.
And she'll be recognized as being a part of the Blues Hall of Fame.
That's awesome.
Which is great. Now, speaking of the Fast Lane and speaking of Jamie Rivers, now Chris, we play the Fast Lane in a football pick'em competition every year,
right?
And I don't know if there's been some controversy surrounding the competition this year.
Well, I don't know about this one yet, but I do have to ask before you even get going. Like there seems to be controversy and competition between you guys and the 101 people. Like, did you ever read?
I'm gonna officially.
Whoa, God! I hate conceding. That's no good.
Me too.
Well, no, I mean conceding in an election is good when you got your butt kicked. You concede when you've lost. You don't concede because you don't want to fight.
Listen, Chris, I don't think there's a path to victory here. I don't think anything's going to be resolved.
So is it 9-6 because of the disputed ties?
No, it's It's nine wins for the Fast Lane, 6 wins for the Rizz Show, and 3 ties.
Oh, gotcha.
So it puts us both in 9.
Yeah.
So
there is losing gracefully.
I have to admit that our crystal balls may need a tune-up. To the Fast Lane, congratulations. You've earned the coveted love, the one who beat us fair and square. We'll be sending you a certificate in the mail shortly. Frame it, cherish it, and put it next to your participation trophies. To the Rizz Show supporters, thank you for being our cheerleading squad. I promise our next ever will involve fewer dramatic twists and turns. The competition that you've all just witnessed has been an eye-opener, to say the least. While we had high hopes for a different outcome, it seems life had other plans. Fast Lane, you win. You managed to navigate this competition successfully, and I can't deny the skills that you brought here. I hope those skills come in handy when the real challenges of life knock at your door. The circumstances that led to our defeat, well, let's just say they're not my favorite companions at the moment. And I'll be having a serious chat with fate and luck as soon as the microphone is out of my face. Life isn't always a walk in the park. Sometimes it feels more like a roller coaster with too many unexpected loops. I'll be taking this anger and turning it into fuel for the future. Watch out, world. This is not the last time you've heard from the Rizz Show.
That's right. That's right.
And there you go. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. You let me get that off my chest.
How come your music stopped?
Well, we only have 1:24 in the budget for a sad song.
Well,
so
and the piano player is crying.